Well, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Channel 99. We are working on, technically this is episode 1 of a new show. We haven't really figured out what we're going to call it yet, but the pilot episode, which you've already heard by now, is called Shit or Get Off the Podcast. It was basically about dudes and dating and relationships. Today, we have on Ace.
Hello.
What's up? Thanks for joining us. I did most of the sitting back, and I chimed in a little bit, but we do have our main hosts. We've got Conrad from the Pro Edge podcast, and then we've also got Jake, and he's kind of like a new personality for the show in the studio. So we're really excited for this episode. I think you're going to have a blast. We talked a little bit about... Everything.
We just
marriage, relationships, cheating, yeah, you name it. It's kind of like a 101 into real fucking life. So we really hope that you enjoy the show. Make sure you subscribe, give us 5 stars, pass the episode along, and have a wonderful rest of your day. You guys don't even listen to my other shows. Fuck it, whatever. Peace out.
Shut up and sit down.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Pro Edge Podcast. I'm your host Conrad in Channel 99 studio. Next to me, Jake Panzeri, the co-host of the upcoming show To Be Named. We're running it under Pro Edge right now. This is going to be our first episode for that show. Doing some reorgan in Channel 99 studios with the cancellation of another show. And
what's up?
There's our producer Tim Meyer.
Hi,
Across
Tim.
from me, our guest today, Ace. How you doing?
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Quick shout out to our sponsors, keeping our guests hydrated. Rhino Rush, thanks for the shots. If you're in the market for some energy or whatever, Rhino Rush is everywhere now. I think there's one in Tim's bathroom for sale. They've saturated the market pretty well, so it's all over the valley. Mountain Realty, if you guys are in the market for some real estate, get a hold of me at Mountain Realty. Shot at Dawn Project, biggest mental health project in history, saving America's heroes. Trying to get to President Trump and the Federal Task Force for Suicide right now with our 8 steps to hero suicide to help them out. So check that out at www.shotatdawnproject.org. All right, folks, so the show's based around dating. And today in studio we have Ace, who is how old?
19.
Very attractive young lady. Jake?
Fucking baby. Jesus.
It's scary. That seems like it was yesterday, but it's so many moons ago.
I remember like 19 like it was fucking yesterday. I think I had my second fake ID by the time I was 18.
Yeah.
19, yeah. I was on a fucking train wreck.
Dude, I remember being a senior in high school, not to go back, and I had stolen my brother's driver's license and peeled it in half. These were back in the day. You guys don't know this, but driver's licenses were laminated, and they were super easy. And, like, I peeled it in half, and me and my buddies put our pictures in there and re-glued them.
I used to make fake IDs in high school, by the way.
And I remember...
And I still have my fake ID. I'll bring it out here in a second.
Dude, you realize somebody now is going to hit you up about that machine to try and take it so they can...
No, and I can tell you my process. It was super fucking easy.
Hey,
and it worked.
Check this out, too. So...
I'm
a senior in high school. Ace, when I was 19, I looked nothing. I looked like a schoolboy that's 12, right? Senior in high school, you've been to Aberdeen, Idaho, right? There's like 6 people. Yeah. There's a Maverick in the town. My entire senior year, I'm buying beer at the Maverick, right? Oh, my God. My entire senior year. Graduation announcements come out, and I walk into Maverick, and those ladies were pissed. I'm like, well, look at me.
There you go.
Like, we knew it the whole time.
Shit.
There we go.
So the state of dating. Ace.
Yeah. It's a little different than back in like when we first started.
I'll tell you what. So
MySpace.
You're
seriously, right?
You know, you've got the least amount of years of experience as far as dating's concerned in this room, but what's your objective towards boys like and men like, and like what questions would you have? What do you want to know about dudes? What could we enlighten you on?
Oh, God. There's a lot I want to know about dudes, but I'll keep it simple.
He said he was 18.
Yeah. Ace,
True.
just so you know, no means no, okay?
Nuh-uh.
Oh, there we go.
No's a maybe.
Right?
All right, guys.
To those men listening, that's not true.
Yeah.
Don't ever come back to the show and say, hey.
Yeah, let's clarify that.
It's only true if a girl's... No. Wait. I got it mixed up. If a girl says it to a guy.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it only applies one way.
Absolutely. I think our site's pretty
only
much
fair.
Yeah, like we signed our consent paper a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
In the history of wieners, we've never said don't. I think. Yeah. Okay.
Have it go on record.
We're getting sidetracked.
Few and
back
far
to you.
between.
Back to you.
Okay. What is the first thing you think when you see an attractive girl?
God, would I like to get me some of that?
It's the first thing you think of, really?
How
That's what goes through
crazy
your
is that
mind.
chick? How crazy
So
is
you
she?
see the depth that you're working with right now.
Okay, I dig.
Do you want the truth, or do you want? I mean, the first thought would have to be, wow.
Okay,
maybe.
first of all, give me a scenario because that's going to be a little bit better. That's such a broad way to put it. So,
Yeah.
like, give me a scenario. Like, what are you doing? Like, okay, are you walking through a mall and all of a sudden I see a hot chick, or am I at the gym, or am I on a date, or you got like, give me a scenario that way you can get a better.
How about
idea.
this?
It's just very broad.
For me personally, if I'm walking like the store somewhere and like a really attractive woman walks by and looks at me and I look at her, the first thing I do is look down to see if she's got a ring on. Just for looking.
Okay, fine.
okay,
Bullshit.
okay.
I do too.
Are you
kinda
fucking serious?
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
look for a ring, dude.
Hold on, really quick. Like
The first
fucking-
thing
what
I
am
look
hanging out with
at
people going
is
to
their
fucking
left
church?
hand every fucking
I just mean
time.
if she's attractive. Like, I'm not going to go talk to an attractive lady
Okay,
that's
how
married.
do you know she's attractive?
I said I just looked at her and she looked at me.
So what was the first thing you noticed?
her.
because she's
But
attractive.
that's one of the first things I do. So
That's
like
different.
The
What's
actual
the first thing is gonna, okay. So you're trying to tell me that any chick walking through the fucking mall just because she has a ring, like you're looking?
No, if
you're
they
looking at
look
what's
at-
attracting you to her.
Yeah, but
Physically,
if
like her ass,
I'm
her tits,
attracted,
her eyes, her outfit.
okay,
her
so it's one thing to
cleavage.
be attractive, and it's another thing to be attracted to. So I can have.
I completely agree, but he's jumping like five
I
steps
can look
forward.
at somebody and be like, "Damn, that girl takes care of
well,
herself.
no, that's
She's
just
attractive."
the process. The first thing is I'm
But it doesn't
attracted
mean I'm
to her,
attracted to
and that's
her.
why I go.
How did you? So what was the
Well,
question? Was what?
well,
Restate the question.
that's
Because-
Okay,
That's
do
the
both.
thing.
Do both questions.
That's
what's
the thing.
First,
What is
yeah.
she?
What's the first thing you do, and then what's the first thing you think?
Well, that's first of all. You should probably switch that. 'Cause the first thing you think before you do, I would hope if you're an adult,
would
you're
think.
you're thinking
Times
before
have
you act.
changed.
We're like
Times
fif-
have changed.
sorry.
Okay, so what's the scenario?
So let's use the mall scenario. You're
So the
walking
mall
through
scenario.
Okay, I'm
You're-
walking through the mall.
Conrad, we're gonna give you a scenario. You're walking through the mall, and all of a sudden you stand
Sorry,
up,
everybody.
and there's like four people
I've
in the aisle.
totally neglected your fucking audio leveling,
Yeah.
so I apologize. The first half, like the first 15 minutes, you kind of sound Oh, I guess 6 minutes in.
That's okay, we'll
fuck
get it back.
Whatever.
No worries.
Fuck
So
it.
you're walking down. You're walking down.
Nobody
the,
cares. I'm not getting paid. Fuck it.
You're walking. You're
Let's
walking
roll.
down the mall. Okay. All of a sudden you see five people, and you just happen to glance up, and the first woman you see, you're like, holy shit, and you're drawn to her. You're attracted to her. There's typically something. It's not like, oh my god, look at that wedding ring.
No, that's not even what you.
That's what she's asking.
Yeah, but that's not even where I went with that.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, let's get with
So
that.
it's
Like,
hard to
what's the
say.
first thing, right?
I would say this. Like, I'm attracted to blondes usually, right?
Yeah,
So if
there you
she's
go.
blonde, that's the first thing I know is like, dang.
Okay.
And then so
Check.
and I think what guy doesn't check out the tits and ass, right? That's probably the first thing.
That's what we're going with, yeah.
And the package,
Yep.
and then you go to the, she's.
I look at a
looking
ring
for-
too, but I promise you, it ain't the first fucking thing I
No,
look at.
but so
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, pause.
Yeah.
'Kay.
Side question. What? Okay, this is not on here. If she has a ring versus if she doesn't, what is that like? What do you think? Like, if she has a ring, where does your mind go?
Fuck. And then I just look for the next chick that
Yeah.
walked in the room.
turns
it's
off.
just like whatever.
But it's different.
Okay.
Like
No,
here's the
usually,
here's the
to be
difference.
honest with you, I usually think she'd probably still be a little crazy.
Well, I think
Well,
Sometimes I
don't
think that
a
only
fucking
because-
ring has anything to do with a girl being
Dude,
crazy.
a ring doesn't plug a hole, man.
Listen.
Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying that to be like aggressive or anything. I'm just saying like that's the truth, dude. I know plenty of women who are married who have like non-monogamous relationships. They're
Absolutely.
married and they have boyfriends on the sides. I've met them. Like
right.
I know them. I know dudes who do the same. Like
Right.
they don't have like a monogamous relationship. It's an open relationship. It's not uncommon. So I know dudes who are plural, like they have multiple wives, and I talk to them and I work out with them at the gym and stuff, like down at the Park Center gym. And these are guys that you would not know have multiple wives and multiple
So
families.
getting back to your question, were you trying to figure out just like based on relationships, like are you trying to figure out the base of your question is like when you first find out a girl's in a relationship, what do you do?
Like,
I-
is it a deal breaker or is it just kind of like,
I think it depends on the dude.
It's a
and
deal
I
breaker.
also
There's
think
so many women
plays
out there.
age
Yeah.
plays a big part in that too.
Yeah, and I think it depends on a man's age because as he gets older, that's to me like like, let's say I met you, and the first thing you tell me is I have a boyfriend. I would still be cordial, even if I was attracted to you. I'd still be nice.
Right.
But to me, being 37, I'm like, okay, if I'm going to invest time in a chick that's already got a man, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Right.
It's a fucking waste. And if she was entertained by it, she'd probably do it to me too,
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Unless it fits your lifestyle.
Well,
Well,
that's
no, I mean,
true.
here's the deal. Like, guys your age, I'm telling you right now, like, there's lots of guys that do it. It's a challenge. It's fun. Like,
Right.
There's also girls that the whole reason they do it because they fucking cheat too. So it all goes back to the substance of the person. But I mean, trust me, when I was younger, I cheated like crazy. So I'll be the first person to say it. But I did it in a different sense. Like I didn't want I didn't understand the idea of a relationship and being monogamous. I wasn't around it when I was a kid. So like me, when I first started dating, like I cheated all the time, and a lot of people did it where they couldn't grow up and admit it, and then come to the realization, oh, it was my fault. Like it's part of it's growing up. A lot of people don't want to admit it. Some people are still. It's like
It's maturity, dog.
it's
You-
not even.
I
True.
do
I know
go-
people
dude,
my age that still won't accept what they've like mistakes they've made in relationships.
wait a minute.
But people
Were you
don't
raised
mature.
on the
I'm
bunny
just
ranch?
saying, maturity isn't
Right
based
down
on
the
the
street.
person. Maturity is based on the level of like and how they interpret it, and their interpersonal connection with that experience and what they take from it. That's what maturity is. It doesn't mean that they've gone through multiple relationships. I know tons of old chicks who have failed relationships because they're fucking idiots, because they don't know how to maintain a relationship. They don't know how to take care of a guy, and that guy doesn't know how to take care of a girl, and it's a repeating process. But I also know people who are very young, who are very mature, because they learn from their experiences and they figure shit out, and they get married young and they stay married for a long time. They're very committed in those relationships. But maturity is, in my opinion, is not based on how old you are. I know a lot of fucking old idiots who have no kids, who have failed relationships, never been married, you know, and it's not because they're like selfish. I'm fucking selfish. I'm 33. Dude, I'm not married. I don't have any kids. I have nothing to connect my life to outside of my family and my house, you know, and the things that I own. I don't have anything to really live for other than my dog and like the people who are still alive in my family and my friends. Does that make sense? Like when you have kids, it's a whole different experience, right? So like that's a different
No, tell me
maturity
about it.
level.
Let me know.
That's a different maturity level. I don't know that. Like somebody who has a kid, in my opinion, is somebody who, like, you guys have a really good reason to be
Yeah,
single
I've got a
because you've
question.
been through the ringer.
Before I forget, how many girls your age are having kids? You'd say in your senior class, how many of them have kids now, you think?
Yikes. Have them or are pregnant with them?
Both.
Either or.
Okay. Off the top of my head, I know
What year did you graduate?
2018.
Okay.
And out of my class, I know 1, 2. I went to a small high school, but like as far as like my friend group goes, they're all around the same age. Probably like 5 or 6 of the girls I know.
So 5 or 6, probably 2 of them are yours.
More than that. Probably more.
Very good. No. So that's what, when you were, I think it is not too common.
How
but
many
maybe,
we had?
Yeah, 1 or 2 a class maybe.
Couple.
In actual high school, had a kid.
I mean, I knew friends that had them, and I knew friends that had abortions too.
Yeah.
So there was both.
That's true.
What are
Yeah.
what is the generational stuff on that? Like, what are you guys? What's your mindset on abortion and stuff like that?
Curious.
Oofta.
First one, really quick. Are you religious?
I am, yeah.
Okay. What's
I'm a Christian,
Okay.
like a non-denominational
Okay.
kind of thing. But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like you guys said earlier in the podcast. It's kind of depends on the person. It kind of depends on like the religious background. It kind of depends on like how they grew up. And I think a lot of the times it changes when it's you in the situation. Like,
What was like your social pressure in high school as far as having sex, and I'm asking. I'm curious if it was the same how we were in school.
yeah.
I think it's younger now, right? Because it's just the social media
Big
thing.
time. Yeah, it's. I
Is
mean,
it?
and it depends on where you go to school too.
Yeah.
Because like if you go to like a private Christian school or Catholic school or whatever, it's like
There's a lot of fucking going on there.
yeah. There's like it's a lot more pushed under the rug Like
Yeah, it's
people,
hidden.
it's not something that you like talk about. It's kind of something, or most of the time,
Okay.
it's kind of something that's like, ooh, you don't want to like tell anyone because if it's, everyone's
Yeah.
gonna know.
Hey, did you guys see Father Jerry? I
Yeah.
thought I saw him downtown wearing a dress.
Duh. Exactly. It's just such a small environment and such a small community that it's like a little more quiet.
Right.
Versus like a high school has 5,000 people in it. It's like, oh yeah, like her,
Yeah, there's people
check.
banging
Like,
in the porta potty out by the football field.
75% through the cheerleading squad, guys, square up, that kind of thing. But
I got
so
you. I
it's
got you.
definitely like a where you're at and who you're with kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
Sure.
It's okay. Kind of a status thing.
Yeah, definitely a status thing.
Okay. Okay. So basically, times haven't changed.
Yeah, pretty much. Is that how it was back in the day?
Oh my God! I was bad. I was a train wreck in high school when it comes to sex.
Yeah.
And you're so bad at it when you're that young too. It's just such a terrible fucking experience. So, but I had a lot of practice, so that was good. Yeah, a lot of like I would say bad practice.
Really bad.
Yeah, like bad practice makes perfect. Sometimes it takes a while.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Like
Yeah.
JV squad.
Right?
Yeah, back.
You put enough reps in, at some point you're going to do something right.
You figure it out,
Yeah.
dude.
Just had to start at the bottom, the Flying J.
Yeah. Seriously? All up from there.
Oh god.
So what's girls your age perspective on marriage? Like, do you, like, is it...
Yeah, that's a fucking good question, especially because you're
Because-
Christian. And what's the pressure on that?
And let me frame this for you. So I'm from a time, right, and so is Jake, where phones had lines on them, and there was no such thing as social media. And marriage, divorce, and freedom of women
It just kind of
really just started to grow in the 90s. And then by the year 2000, it seemed like divorce was super common. But when I was a kid is when it kind of really started, the 80s
we were
and
like the
90s.
divorce generation that came. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're-
and now
Right.
you guys are kind of, you're a generation back. So I'm just curious, what's you guys' thoughts on marriage?
So, I mean, again, it's, I'm not speaking for everybody, but like from my personal view, it's kind of hard because like my family is definitely more like the like conservative Christian idea where it's just like, you can't move in until you're married, blah, blah, blah.
That's just not real life, though.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, I think just growing up in this generation, it's definitely more like, ooh, okay,
It's so impractical
what
nowadays.
if we're like engaged? Does that count? Like, I just like push the line to where it's like I can make my family happy, but I can also.
So let me ask you this too. Like, do you think that is right? Or, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a parent, and I was also a parent. Not every. Here's one thing you're gonna realize when you get older: parents don't always know what the fuck they're talking
Right.
about. Okay,
Or know what they're doing.
Big fucking shock.
Yeah.
So, my question is, like, you're being led by religious beliefs that your parents taught you. It doesn't. I mean, whether it's right or wrong isn't really up to the question. But having said that, you already feel the pressure to make a decision in one way, and it's leading it to me. I think that's the issue. And I'm not trying to cut you off, but like, my daughter's 14. I've talked to her about the same thing, and I've told her, I said, hey, here's the deal. A lot of people, they use religion to try and guide you in the correct direction. They believe in a certain idea to where it's not because it's bad, but they're trying to get to scare the shit out of you so you can stay down a certain path so you don't
Right.
fuck your life up. So it's not that what they're trying to tell you is bad. The problem is nowadays it's fucking different.
Right.
It's not like it was 50 years ago. And here's a big fucking thing too. Women 50 years ago, like, they didn't have the options you guys have now where you can go out and have a career and take care of yourself. You don't need a fucking man to pay for your shit anymore. Like, you can have an alarm system and a dog. You don't need a fucking man around all the time.
Right.
And women were not taught that 50 and 70 fucking years ago. So it is different. So your parents were taught a certain way about your religion that drive you in a certain way about sex and marriage. And yet at the same time, nowadays, if you think that way nowadays, like, it's fucking crazy to think that. I've told my daughter, like, I'd rather have you have sex way before you get married. Way before you get married. Because to me, marriage and sex have nothing to do with each other. Okay, marriage is more of like something where at some point in your life when you finally feel like you found somebody that you want to spend every fucking day with the rest of your life. Okay? And if you find that person at 15, there's a very good chance you're going to change your mind. And it's probably like a 99% chance. So wait until you grow up a little bit till you know what kind of person you are to then see what kind of shit you're attracted to. Because when you grow up a little bit, like, that's why I always tell, like, guys are fucking stupid because we make this shit up. Like, our dick is what drives our fucking teens and 20s.
You think with the wrong head.
Yeah, and it's not, and like I was telling you earlier too, it's not a bad thing. It's human
Right.
nature.
Yeah.
So women need to stop thinking that, oh my God, all these guys want to do is fuck all. no shit. It's fucking genetics.
Right.
Like, if it wasn't, we wouldn't fucking deal with you guys. You guys are assholes. I'm kidding. But, but I mean, but that's kind of the deal. So it's like a lot of women try and vilify guys by saying, "Oh, all you guys want to do is have sex." No shit. That's what it is to be a guy.
Right.
The sooner women realize that, then you can realize, okay, it's not that they don't not like me, but they want to fuck all the time. So it doesn't make it bad. They want to fuck all the time, but you better keep them happy, because if you don't, that's when they're going to start looking other ways. And I don't mean the relationship needs to be about the guy and having sex. Okay, women don't get into a relationship for sex. Okay, or if they do, it's not going to last. But women get into a relationship for something different. Men get into it for sex. So it's a you scratch my back, I scratch your kind of thing. Where, and yeah, if you like, there's videos, there's psychology just about like women are more about love and being emotionally involved and stuff like that. Guys, we can fall in love, but when it comes down to it, dude, we feel with our dick. Like, that's what guys, we get into situations because of we want to have sex with something.
Right.
You know, so it's going to, like, trust me, every woman I've ever dated on this planet, I got into a situation where, yeah, I was physically attracted to her, and yet here I am 40 and single, so clearly it wasn't driving me to a relationship that was good for me, you know? So
I have a question.
Yeah.
That kind of like spins off.
Kind of
of
triggered
that.
this?
Yeah.
Triggered some? Okay.
So it's like a 2-part question.
Okay.
So the first part is gets personal. Okay. So
Oh, God, you might hurt my feelings.
in your life,
I'm kidding, I don't have
Okay,
any.
good. Your whole life secrets are about to be on
Yeah.
on the line.
Okay.
How many girls have you screwed in your lifetime? And in general, what was better, the girls you had long-term relationships with or short-term relationships with?
First question is NA, because I stopped counting years ago. But I would say hundreds. Like, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I stopped counting probably around 30. 30 years old. I haven't counted sex. Yeah. I haven't counted sex in my 30s at all. So, yeah, hundreds. I'm not bullshitting you. Like, which to me isn't a big deal. I know you tell other people that, and they're like, "Oh my God." Some people are like, "Yeah, it's normal." You know?
Right.
So, second part of the question. Sorry, say it again.
What? So I mean,
long-term relationships, or which one's better?
yeah, like, so emotionally to dude, or like even just like all the areas, like in bed, in just a friendship, in
Right.
like the relationship side of it. What was more beneficial for you as a human being
Yeah.
and like a guy versus just kind of like hit and miss? You know what I mean?
So I would say that I've had 2 serious relationships in my life. Anything else that there's girls that maybe I went on a couple of dates with, but nothing else I even would ever really consider a relationship. The first 2, yes, I was in love, did the whole thing. I was just younger because for me, like, I was just raised to, I hate to say raised, but like, I was just different. I was around people and guys and friends that we were just fucking whores. Like, we went out, we partied, and I would have a girlfriend and I would go sleep with somebody downtown. And that was just the way it was. And I'm not saying it was right, but a lot of that was just, we were around other friends that did the same thing. So,
Do you think that's changed at all?
oh God, no, not at all. And
Really?
and I'm going to tell you right now, it's not a bad thing. I'm way more about women, like, when they're younger.
Just as many equal whores out there with females as there are whore men. Like, it
see the-
doesn't,
see the difference is-
dude. There are way
Guys
more
talk about
women our age, I think, that are just sleeping around. I think than dudes,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah.
But here's the deal.
It's like an influx here, especially in the valley. It's crazy.
Really?
You go out as a
It's
dude
not
our
the valley.
age.
It's not valley. It's human nature. Like, it's just becoming that.
Well, I'm just
day and
saying we
age.
have
Yeah.
we have a lot of single older women in Boise who go to the bars, and like, usually I'm working, I'm taking photos, I'm at a show and whatnot, but these are the women who, like, I see an influx of, and they're out there and they're just like a bunch of aggressive chicks.
Just a bunch of soccer moms.
They
out
are.
So how does that
They're
make
just
you guys
out-
feel if you were
just
in a
a-
relationship and like a girl cheated on you? Like, what is that in your brain? Like, what do you think? What do you do? How does that feel like in your heart?
It's fuck, I don't know.
Well,
It's-
here's the thing. So, I'll give you an example. Like, for me, I've been in a relationship where I've cheated and been cheated on. So I've had the heart broken, and I've done this. So I've been both. So I'm not the kind of person that's going to sit there and be like, "You fucking horrible person, you cheated on me." I was like the guy's like, "Fuck, dude, I did it first." Like, I knew what I did fucking wrong. How am I going to sit there and call you out? Like, I was a piece of shit too. Granted, I think a lot of times guys probably do it more, and they're usually more fucking stupid, so they'll get caught easier. Women a lot of times are a lot more conniving about it, I think. I don't condone cheating anymore. And trust me, like when I was younger, I did, and I did like teens, 20s. I did my first relationship, and then after that, to me, I got to the point where I don't respect people that do it. And the reason I don't is because if you're the kind of person that wants to do it just to get laid, go get fucking laid. Like most guys do it because they're fucking too much of a pussy to live by themselves and go out and get laid once in a while. So they want to lie to a girl, get her caught up in a fucking relationship or marry her, and then fuck other chicks on the side, and then tell themselves it's okay. Like, I know so many fucking people who are married and cheat on their wives all the fucking time. And they tell themselves it's okay because, oh, I got married young, or I don't want to fucking get out of a relationship. And it's just an excuse.
We got kids, yeah.
You know, and it's just like, it's a chicken shit fucking excuse. Why don't you just grow some fucking balls and realize, hey, I'm lying to you. I just don't, I changed my mind. And I think that's the problem is, see, people are scared and you're vilified for changing your mind, saying, you know what? I loved you when I was 18. I'm 35 now. I'm not attracted anymore. I fell out of love with you. I think there's nothing wrong with changing your mind. I've had it done to me, and I've done it. Yeah. So to me, it's human fucking nature. The fact that people think that they need to suck it up and stick it out with the person because they said they promised when they were 19 to me is fucking insanity.
Yeah.
I think marriage before the age of 30 is fucking insanity. There's zero benefits to get married.
But we're also a bunch of dudes who are like single and we're older.
No, I'm not saying bullshit. Give me a fucking.
No, but I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm just thinking, like, from like somebody who's listening, they're like, oh, these motherfuckers, these guys are a bunch of single dudes. Like, you know, later in their life, they've experienced shit. Fuck these guys. That they're not in love with somebody. They're not living with somebody they're in love with for eternity.
Here's what it is.
Honestly, that's not what life is all about. Life is about growing and sometimes growing apart and just recognizing that and loving it. Exactly what you're saying, dude. Like, whatever. Like, everybody has their own life. You have your own direction in life, and I am 100% with you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
and
from a listener perspective, people are like, oh, you motherfuckers. But no, you're 100% correct, man, in my opinion. Like,
so getting back to you, like, so coming off that when you hear, like, trying to, okay, so, like, I told you I slept with a lot of women, okay? You're going to meet guys, other guys my age, that's probably pretty normal. Mm-hmm. Some like, you're not going to find women like that. It's different for women. It's the biggest double standard ever, but it's also, it's just normal.
Why do you think?
Human nature. You're not in it for the sex. We are. Mm-hmm. It'll never change, so you have to accept it. I'm not saying it's right, but I can promise you right now,
it's
like,
the reality.
It's the reality of it. It's human fucking nature.
So maybe that's like why women look for like faithful men. You know what I mean?
Well, and then
like that's why they're so hesitant to jump into a relationship.
Who the fuck? What women's fucking hesitant?
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You just got out of one though.
Yeah, and I'm not looking for a while.
But you just got out. That's my point. Is like, and that's smart. Most people, they just say that. Most people say, "Oh, I just got. I need some me time." Bullshit. I'll show you me time. Literally, the last relationship I was in was probably 8 years ago, and I was like, clearly, I suck at relationships.
Right.
I'm gonna step the fuck out. I'm gonna focus on being a dad and getting my career going, and not worry about it. And I really fucking have.
Right.
And I didn't do it for publicity. I didn't do it for any other reason than clearly there's something I'm doing wrong or something different, you know. And I spent more time, honestly, watching people's relationships and watching the mistakes from afar and seeing the mistakes and like watching people like go through shit, like, and trying to learn from people. And so while I have a pretty fucked up childhood when it comes to like dating and like I said, I had infidelity when I had a young age from my parents too. So I was around a lot of shit when I was a kid. It's not a bad thing because to me, my eyes were open early. So I learned a lot about it, you know, and that's probably different from where you're coming from. And there's a lot of shit I'm going to say that you're going to be like, oh my God. So,
yeah. And I think as you get older too, you're better at like the reflecting on. So like if you're cheated on, I think everyone's natural instinct is betrayal, right? And you feel
it depends.
But,
did you do it first?
Well, here's the thing too. What caused it?
Or is it an easy out?
I wanted to get some extra
Is
pussy.
it an easy out? All right, cool.
And that's the thing that I think that I was trying to get at because he just brought it up. He's like, what caused you to cheat? Like, what caused me to cheat?
So you got to look at yourself.
I love both women I was in a relationship with, dude. Absolutely head over heels in love with them. Sex, the only woman I like, top of the line, that was who I wanted to have sex with more than anything. But when I went out and partied and I saw another hot chick, to me, it was easy and fun to be able to walk up, spark a conversation, and go home and have sex with her, and then the next day go back with my girlfriend. And I did it every weekend for like years. And I was normal, and a lot of guys do that.
So what is, I guess, this is a big question. This is all of you.
Yeah.
What exactly is love to you? Because if a guy did that to me, I'd be like, you obviously never had any romantic love factor.
Honestly, man, this is like a subculture I'm really not familiar with.
that's
Maybe
what I'm
I
getting
just
at.
don't hang out with enough bros, but like I don't know. I didn't know that.
Here's why. No, because that see you're a woman that like if he loved me he wouldn't do that. Stop believing that's the biggest fucking phony lie you'll ever hear. Okay, I have loved both my fucking girls I've ever and I didn't never cheated on the second girlfriend. The first girlfriend I cheated on all the time. I love both of them. Okay, cheating has nothing to do with love. Cheating is about sex, and that's what you guys don't understand. Is women always think, oh my god, if he loved bullshit. I love both. Absolutely head over heels in love with both women, and and the first one I cheated on her all the fucking time, and yet I would go home and hang out with her, and I loved her being around her because it's not about that. When you're young, it's about sex. So for women, they don't see you don't understand, like how the fuck is that possible? We're not looking for love.
Well, I mean,
we get trapped by love because of sex.
Yeah, I think for me, it's more of just like the idea of not really the sex concept. It's more of the, at least like if we're gonna be sleeping together. Can you show the self-control? It's the self-control aspect that shows love. That's why I think if a guy's cheating, to me at least, it's just like, ooh.
Right, and I'm just
you didn't have
telling you,
self-control.
it's not. A lot of it has to do with upbringing.
Right.
A lot of it has to do with whether or not you were taught right or wrong. Here's a difference. An example. My younger brother, who was raised, he's 7 years younger than me, and he's been faithful his whole life and had a marriage and was like, my stepmom was way different being raised. She was raised Catholic, very Christian woman. So she raised him to be that way. He would never cheat and hasn't. I was raised, my mom was a little different because we were like, she was 17 when she had me. Party, drugs, alcohol, the whole thing.
Right.
So I was raised different. That's why, to me, infidelity wasn't a big deal. He would never do it. It took me doing it numerous times and seeing it to realize I don't want to be that fucking person. Like, but I'm also the kind of person that where if I was in a relationship, I've told this to anybody I've dated, like even before, I'm like, hey, if we ever get to a situation where we're dating and I'm in love with you or you're not, and we're like, you just don't want to be with me anymore. I'm telling you right now, the best thing you can ever do to a guy is tell him the fucking truth and just say, honestly, I just don't want to be with you anymore. Guy might freak out, but there's no like getting around it. There's no gray area. It's just like, I changed my mind.
Right.
Guys are cut and dry like that, but most women, they want to manipulate the situation and then start a fight and then put it on them. Yeah. And then they cause a fight and the guy's like, what the fuck did I do? And before you know what it is, it's like not about what you did. I don't want to be with you anymore. So you guys create this shit and you manipulate guys into being fuck, and all guys like, what the fuck did I do? And even though they may have done something to where you didn't want to date the guy anymore, why don't you just grow some fucking balls and tell him? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing him a favor and yourself a favor, and you're not leaving any gray area. If women could do that, it would be, I'm telling you right now, the next relationship you get in, if you're going to dump the guy and you're just like, you know what, I liked the guy at first, it was sparks, it was the honeymoon phase, and I'm just not feeling it anymore, and I'm feeling drawn to other things, and rather than being the girl that decides it's like to start a bullpen and get some guys fucking lined up to start going fucking on the side and have somebody to fallback plan, like, do what's right. Here's the thing, you're always like, you're going to be a hot girl, you can always use that fucking vagina between your legs to control men. Like, you're going to be able to do that. If you do, it's just going to get you into situations that are going to make you unhappy. Because as soon as you, like you did, like right now, okay, you recently got out of a relationship. If you were to go out and just use your hot fucking body to go get a bunch of fucking dudes and fill that need of being loved and being cared for, and like, because you're going to be lonely, part of going through that and growing is those pains.
But I'd rather be lonely than screw a bunch of desperate guys.
That's my point, because a lot of girls will be like, fuck this, I'm going to start drinking and go to the bar next tomorrow night and get laid because I feel bad, like I'm lonely. A lot of girls do that, and you're going to see that.
I feel like
you're 19
you'd feel
now.
worse. Like I've tried that like before. It's like, okay, I'm fresh. I'm out of here. You know what? I'm sad. Screw this. I don't want to be sad. I'm gonna go party.
Right.
I'm done with this. So
Yeah.
I'll leave and go do that. And I come back and I feel worse than I did before I left.
Yeah,
Right,
it's not necessarily the cure for sure.
It's not, and like I think a lot of women use that, and they realize how quick it's like a drug. It's like fucking heroin. If you're the kind of girl who gets fucking dumped, you need that attention, and all of a sudden your fucking safety blanket, who used to be your boyfriend and give you all that attention, and you're sick of him and dump him. Like, it's so easy nowadays with social media and how quick you can post a quick selfie and get attention. Guys can't always do that. We don't have that option. Like, I can't just post a fucking dick pic and have a bunch of chicks hit a like button. Like, it's, you guys don't like that shit. We do, because we're driven by that shit.
Yeah, if we want to...
You can if you have a Pornhub account. I just learned.
Hey guys, Tim's back.
38K. So they were throwing that down the whole time. The whole time we were on the road with these dudes,
Jesus,
they kept
this show
yelling
just took a turn.
38K. They said if you start a Pornhub account and you do like, the user media or whatever, like
Right.
the amateur shit, and you film your own stuff, I guess like the average is you can pull in like 38K. That blows my mind. That's what they kept throwing out all tour. They were like 38K. And I was like, what the fuck are these dudes talking about? And they're like, dude, if you start a Pornhub account, you can make like 38K in a year, bro. It's like average. And I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Because there's probably a lot of amateur stuff out there.
Let's get off the porn kick.
Porn.
Back to the questions.
38K.
Back to the question.
Because I was like, yeah, I know you have more questions. I was like, okay, let's cut this with the porn. Let's go. I know you have more questions.
Okay, so what is I have a few that kind of go back to back. So as a guy, knowing what I know now, like, what's your go-to pickup line when you want to go like start something or spark something or get with a girl or whatever?
Right.
And what's the difference between like you see a girl and is the thought of that's a girl that I want to keep around versus that's a girl, ooh, slam and I'm out of here. Like,
Right.
What?
You're saying
where's
how
the
do
difference?
I like if I look at a girl, how do I know if I just want to fuck her or if I want to date her?
Yeah.
To me, I'm not going to know until I at least talk to her.
Okay.
Because there's there's lots of girls that I would look at. Like 10 years ago, there's way more chicks that I would want to put the effort in to go out and try and actually sleep with. Nowadays, like you can appreciate a really attractive woman without feeling the need to go fuck them all the time. Like it's when you're younger, it's like, okay, do I want to fuck her? Or to answer your question,
I think until you bust that nut, either you're not gonna know. As a
no,
dude.
that is absolutely not, dude. I'll know way before the sex if I'm going to date her.
No, I mean like if there's something there, if you.
Oh yeah, because like so say if you're going to go on a date, I think you're thinking like when's a guy going to know? At some point, a guy's going to know within the first 20 minutes whether or not he's really interested in dating you or just wants to fuck you.
So what if she doesn't want to sleep with you?
Well, it all depends. What's the point of you not wanting to sleep with you? Are you trying to figure out if he really likes you and are you looking for a relationship or are you fresh out trying to have fun again? So
Right.
that's where you need to figure out where you're at because you can get both, but do you really want to fucking hang on and wait and do you want me to treat you like a relationship because you just got out of it? You just said you didn't want to do it. So what are
Right.
you looking for? Like honestly, right now, like if you found a guy, you're like, oh my god, he's fucking cute, and he sparked a conversation while you were fucking foam rolling at the fucking gym, okay? And all of a sudden he fucking asked you out. You just got a relationship and don't want to do it, but this guy seems kind of cool. So
I mean, I'd go on a date with him, but I wouldn't sleep with him, especially on the first date.
oh no, I get that. So, but what is your intentions on a date when you know you're not going to date the guy and you know you're not going to fuck the guy?
Oh, if I knew I wasn't going to date the guy, I wouldn't go.
Answer the second part of the question.
Ooh, what was it?
You just got out of a relationship, okay? So you saw this guy at the
Right.
gym and he asked you, and you're like, yeah, I'll go on a date. So you're going on a date with a guy. You're not going to fuck him. You're not going to date him, but you want to get a free meal off the guy.
No way. If I had like, if he was a cool guy, I'd be like, yo, yeah, dude, we can chill. I don't care. Let's go for a hike. You know, like, I don't know.
So, but what I'm saying, in the guy's mind, he's thinking, I'm thinking this is a date, okay?
That's fine.
But but I'm saying that when you asked your question, do you want me to treat this like a girl I want to try and date, or like, are we just hanging
Oh,
out?
I
Or
see.
You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah, you're
Like,
switching it on me.
Exactly. Yes, you caught up finally. Okay, I'm switching you
I think, you know,
because
again,
you don't know what you want.
I
That's what
would
I'm-
say I need to get to know the guy. So I'd be like, cool, we'll start out as friends. Like, whether or not you think it's a date, you think whatever the hell you want.
Okay.
In my brain, we're going out, we're hanging out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's.
Okay, so if you guys are hanging out and you start liking this guy, knowing you just got out of a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you're having fun on the date and he's kind of fun, he's kind of attractive, like he's
Great
slipping you some
dancer.
shit, yeah.
Great dancer.
Great dancer
Yeah.
on your hike.
It's a great
Yeah.
date. Yeah, it's a great
But I'm like,
date.
and you're really like, hey, this was really fucking cool. Then all of a
Right.
sudden, okay, now the guy's like, okay, he's an more aggressive guy where he's like, okay, do you want to go hang out? Well, you want to Netflix and chill? Would you go do something like put yourself in that situation?
No.
You
Only because I've done it before.
okay? So then you're lying. Yes, you would
No.
do it. You've done it.
No. I have
you
done
learned
it.
from it?
Yes, I
Okay.
have learned from it thoroughly.
Okay.
So now, you know, I might go, like, if he's dropping me off in my car or something, you know, have like a hardcore tea sesh, but
Okay.
I'm not going to go inside with him
Okay.
just because I know
Okay.
exactly what he wants, and I just
And once again, just so you know that ahead of time too, we were talking about this earlier too.
Mm-hmm.
What does he
It
want?
doesn't make a guy bad because he wants to fuck you.
Oh,
Okay?
it doesn't make him bad. It just
No.
doesn't make him my type.
Well, then you better start liking women. I'm telling you right now.
So
Like, but getting back on that, like we were talking about this earlier, women need to realize like guys want to have sex.
Right,
So
totally.
and you can make them
and
wait.
girls get in the mood too. Trust me.
Oh, do they?
Real quick, real quick.
So that's my point.
There's
Is,
some triggers you gotta find, boys. Just
Yeah.
a little.
oh, do you want to explain it
Oh
to
no,
me,
no, no!
please?
That you gotta figure that out on your own.
I don't know. You have to show me a few things.
Well, this
Clearly-
tree's got a few rings on it.
Yeah. I got a few miles on these legs.
Yeah. Got a little bit of experience.
No, but the whole point I was trying to bring that up was like, is so many women, they have that expectation where they think, okay, I just got a relationship, I'm going to do me, and I'm not going to go sleep with anybody. But like, if a guy asks me out, I'm going to go out. Okay, so what's the point of going out? Because you want to be taken care of, and you just want to be shown a good time, right? Or not taken care of, but I mean, you want to go out and have a good time. Take your mind off it, maybe, and which is good. I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
It's almost like you're giving yourself hope that there's still good guys out there. Like, I'm not saying if a guy wants to have sex, he's a bad guy. No, I don't think that at all.
Okay, really quick. Okay, dude. 99.9% of the guys that you meet until you're about 35 are all shitty dudes, and they're not bad guys. They're just stupid until they grow up a little bit, and it takes a long fucking time. Women are they grow up way quicker,
that's why girls
way more
always,
mature.
or not always, but usually marry a little older, is because
Absolutely, 100%, right?
yeah.
Because and a lot of it, like, and it's better for guys. Guys when they're young need to go out and fuck everything,
Absolutely.
get it out. Like the worst thing you want is a guy at home regretting his fucking youth because
Absolutely.
he was like, oh, I fell in love at 20, and now I'm home with a woman I don't want to be with. Like,
Right.
go get that shit out. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's better in the long run.
Yeah.
Now
That's
he's banging hockey
Definitely.
players in the back of a truck stop. I've seen it 1,000 times. You're like, what?
God. What about you, Conrad? What's
been a
your
part of it
what's your
1,000
view on
times.
that?
yeah.
What was the question?
So, like, you kind of missed the last question, actually.
No, he hasn't answered shit. I've been answering, so it's his turn.
You notice how quiet I was?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I know. I was like,
numbers?
I feel like there's gonna be a little bit of like opposing views now. I'm kind of.
I hope so. I wanna hear what you have to say.
Okay, so let's start with one of the last ones. How many girls have you screwed? And in general, what was better? What was better in the long run?
Okay.
The girls you had long-term or short-term relationships with?
That's a tough question. I was a young boy bander myself, much like Jake. I have no idea. I've
Okay.
been
NA.
around. Yes, probably somewhere along the lines with Jake. Nothing to be ashamed of. Just I was a single young sailor for a while. Yeah, chasing girls.
A playa.
Not even. I've never really been.
Let me think. I'm gonna explain you something. So, and here's the difference, because obviously in my life I've been called a player my entire fucking life. So
What's the difference? A fuckboy and a player. Are
there's
they
but
the same?
here I'm going to explain to you guys. This is why women fuck ups are so stupid sometimes, because they don't understand men. Like, women are always like, "Oh, you're a fuckboy." Every guy wants to be a fuckboy. Most guys just don't have the options. I'm telling you, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the moves.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have not any Tom, Dick, and Harry can go out and get pussy every weekend. It takes practice and skill, and you have to be charming and attractive, and not every guy has that. That's why a lot of times it's about money and power and getting yourself up to where that you can draw women to you. When it comes down to just natural instincts of guys going out and being able to pull pussy, and you can do that, and I was good at it. And I'm not trying to brag. I'm saying it was easy for me to spark a conversation with a woman and buy her a drink or take her to dinner and go have sex, and have a great time with no expectations about dating or relationships. Hundreds of women that I'm still friends with. Like, I have tons of female friends, because I've never, honestly, in the last probably 10 years, 15 years, I've never been that guy that felt the need to be in a relationship. The last one I got into is a guy fell in love on accident, and I've never been like, oh my God, I want to get married. I want to find that person. I've been like, if I find that person that I really want to spend every fucking day with, dude, I'm down. If it happens, it happens. I'm not setting the bar so fucking high that my life is just let down if I don't find a woman. It does not revolve around a woman.
You
for
got
me.
options, dog.
So
That's what it
and
comes
that's what I'm
down
getting
to.
at. Guys
Like,
don't have
you're not
options. They're like,
desperate.
oh my God, I got to
Don't
marry
be
her because she's going to
desperate.
get away.
Don't be desperate.
Most guys get married because of sex at a young age, because they don't have options.
what was the last part of that question?
What was more enjoyable for you, like in the long run? Like,
okay,
not
I got it.
specifically,
Relationship,
but
sex,
you
or-
pick.
So
Yeah.
I think it's subjective, and I don't have a really good answer for that. I'd say in the short term, the reason that was always attractive to me is you don't go through any of the heartache you do when you go through a separation and you've shared that with someone. So does that make sense? So long term is always better emotionally in the time that
There's
you're
nothing
in it.
better than that. To
when
answer your
you're-
question, there's nothing better than being in love with
love,
the woman you're in,
yeah.
and having good chemistry and the best. There's nothing outside that will ever that will ever take that away. The problem is
Losing it is just
millions
yeah.
that will come damn close, and that's what guys go do it for. Because that's what I'm trying to explain to you is, trust me, you can be in love and cheat on your wife. If you think you can't, you're fucking lying to yourself. Men do it all the time. And once again,
I
you're
don't know.
naive because you think that you truly believe in that whole thing where if the guy loves me, he's not gonna cheat. There are guys that don't. It is extremely rare, and it's when they're older. Like
Right.
at your age,
Yeah.
If you think that's going to happen at your age, fucking no.
Oh yeah,
Every guy cheats at
that's
some
why
point.
I'm not
So
about it
wait,
right now.
just wait to ever get married. Just wait until you're like almost 30.
Yeah,
Then you
totally.
know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the guy's not fucking around. Like we're good.
Mm-hmm.
He made it through his 20s. They did. When you get into your 30s and your 40s, you don't feel the need to go out and fuck every woman in town. So it is different.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, there is hope. You just got to make it through
There
your
is
20s.
hope out there.
You just got to get guys through his 20s to let him go out and like make all his decisions. And at the same time, you should be working on yourself and your career and your life and exploring yourself. You don't have to give your youth to having fucking kids anymore. Like you guys, women can have a career and do whatever the fuck you want. You don't need a man. You don't have to have that relationship.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
What do you think on
when
that?
you're in your 20s, like you're saying, like going to chase girls and blah 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 blah, that's all good and fun. But
It's
I think
healthy.
when you get older, though, like as a dude, for me at least, and now that I don't even go to bars or drink anymore, like the last thing I want to do is put any effort into something like that for
Right.
no reason.
and that's so.
And so that's changed me being the consequence. So you take, I think there's statistically too, if you remove yourself out of situations where you might cheat in, i.e. drinking at the bars,
Right.
subjectively. So I think as I've gotten older, it's become way less because it's like you've got to actually go out and put in that work.
Do you want to know here's the biggest key that I tell like plenty of my female friends about trying to really understand a guy. Most women don't want to fucking listen to it, and they don't want to take the advice because they don't want to believe it. Most women think they can change you and they're going to save this guy and they're going to change his fucking mind. Okay, when it comes down to it, like the guy, it is about sex for him. Okay, so he's going to put himself in situations if he's sexually attracted to him that could be compromising. So when you want to watch a guy, if you want to really learn, focus on paying attention to a guy when he's not being watched. Pay attention to the things he does when he doesn't think he's being. Information you'll ever learn from a person, okay, is nonverbal communication. Okay, I can promise you, I can sit here and look you square in the fucking eye and bullshit your pants off you. Okay, I play poker, so I can do it. Guys can do that shit. If you want to know the truth about a guy, see what kind of guy, like when he goes to the grocery store and if he happens to walk in front of a woman or behind her, does he grab the door or not? You know, does he do shit like that? You know, or does he do it for a guy? Is he a gentleman? Is he a fucking asshole? Like, here's an instance for you. There's a couple I see at the gym all the time. Pretty cute woman and a guy that seems like kind of like one of those little man syndrome guys that like has to puff his chest out. He's not
I
that
think
big.
I know the guy. I think we're on the same page.
Okay. So I'm walking to the gym the other day, and they happen to go in front of me, and I've never seen this before at the gym with a couple because typically guys that go to the gym, they let their woman go first because it's, you know, it's like I'm showing this my girl,
It's a
blah
thing,
blah.
yeah.
It is. I mean, it's respectful
Yeah.
part, you know. And I see that and I'm coming kind of right behind him, and he sees me, and he literally goes right in front of her, opens the door for himself, holds it open, and then keeps going through first, and then it was her, and then me, and I was just like, oh my God. I've never seen that at a gym. And these guys are probably my age, maybe a couple years older. You know, probably right around 40, I think. And I was so fucking shocked that when I saw that, I was blown away. I was just like that kind of shit to me, when you and that's what I was trying to explain is when you notice that about a person, when you notice that about a guy, that says a lot. Okay? Notice the kind of shit, like, does he hang out with guys that all cheat on their girlfriends? If he does, he's going to cheat on you. I'm just telling you the truth. Okay? Guys hang around guys that cheat. If you have friends that don't cheat, you're around who you're with. So if you, unless you have a guy like you're dating who's like more of a leader type, okay, like an alpha kind of male, he's going to do what he wants. If he surrounds himself with people that cheat and he has bad morals, if he's brought up with people like I was saying, I was around infidelity at a young age. I didn't think cheating was a big deal when I was younger. That's how I was. But if you would pay attention, you would know that about me when I was a kid.
Right.
So you're going to learn plenty of shit about guys. Open your fucking eyes and just believe it. Most girls don't want to fucking believe it. Most girls want to. When you go through a guy's phone, you see he's fucking lying to you, and you see plenty of fucking shit that he's lying. But he tells you square to your face, he loves you and he's not cheating. He's not
Right.
he's just don't say anything. Sit back and fucking watch. Watch what he does. Watch how he talks to girls. Watch how he talks to other people. Pay attention to him when he doesn't know he's being watched.
You know,
That's the most. I'm telling you, it's such a
How
huge
can
key.
you watch though if his actions are going to speak louder than his words and he cheats on you yet he says he loves you? How I don't.
well, and then hold on.
Okay, well, keep in mind, I told you, I know you don't want to accept it, but guys can love you and cheat on you. It does happen. I'm not condoning it or saying it's right.
And they can
I'm
lie
just
to
saying
you.
it's reality. It is reality because when you're younger, guys do stupid shit. So that's why I'm telling you, don't waste love when you're fucking young. Try and avoid that shit that you can get in your 20s to where some fucking dumb guy doesn't fuck you over and you have all this baggage.
What do you
like-
think of that, Conrad?
I'm old school. I don't know. I'd say, yeah, you can love someone and cheat on them, but if you're cheating on them, also, I don't know how genuine the love would be at that point,
Okay,
right?
hold on. Have you never cheated like when you were 20?
Not well.
You never cheated?
I'm not much of a cheater, dude. Never have been.
Never have been.
So I was in
Who were your
Iraq
parents?
as a young man and had it happen to me, and so a perspective. And I don't think my parents ever did. I was
Okay.
raised in a small farm town. It
And
wasn't
they were
even
raised,
heard of.
like-
Yeah.
Your parents still together?
No, they got divorced, but like
Okay.
there was never any tomfoolery that I know of with their marriage. It was more like we just don't get along anymore.
What about you? Got parents still together?
Yeah,
Okay.
both still married.
And so my perspective on it, and then having
Oh,
a lot
yours
of
is way
buddy-
different than mine. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't, and then having it happen to me as a young man in my first marriage when I was overseas, it changed my perspective on how
Is that how your first marriage ended?
basically. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were overseas. She okay.
Yeah, and I don't blame her.
And how old were you?
26, 27,
Yeah.
pretty young.
Yeah. That's so fucking young. It's crazy. But
And
yeah.
see, when I was I never really was in. I was active duty from the time I was 18 to about 24 or something like that. And I never was in a serious relationship. That was my first real serious relationship that I lived with a woman. I mean, I had a few girlfriends before then, but like really in love, married, all that.
Right,
So
right,
like,
I got you.
and so, but I don't recall anything like, oh, the girlfriend I ever. I'm sure there were girls I dated, and I dated other girls. I was a boy bander, but
I got you.
so my
So what about
perspective,
you?
yeah, different.
Hold on. What about you? As far as like cheating on your boyfriend, ever cheated? Jesus Christ! Seriously?
Okay.
How do you-
So it depends on how you view it.
This is fucking women for you, right? Fucking here. This is where they sugarcoat. Like it's a shit or get off the pot. You did.
He
You didn't.
kissed me though. This guy kissed me, and I pushed him off me. So,
Well, that ain't cheating. So that's.
so I mean, yeah, I
Well,
didn't sleep with
that's not
anybody.
really
I didn't
cheating.
sleep with anybody else while I was with him.
Dude tried to kiss you and you fucking backed off.
Yes.
That's not cheating.
Okay. Yeah. So I've never cheated then.
Okay.
But hey, I will say this. So, in a relationship, though, I've built a lot of resentments by being a dumbass, putting myself in situations
That's
where they
the
don't
big
know
key,
the
yeah.
truth.
Right.
Like in reality, like they couldn't. You could say like. I remember I went to Coeur d'Alene as a young man and got wasted and lost my phone, got in a fight. Nothing happened.
Right.
But when I went home to my girl, it's like, I just lost my phone. Okay, dickhead, you just lost your phone.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're hanging out with these fucking turds. Like you're
No
hanging
credibility,
out
huh?
with, You're hanging out with O-Town and you're
Right.
losing your
Yeah.
phone. Like, come on.
Yep.
So like,
You gotta have credibility.
and done dumb stuff,
Yep.
texting with girls that you shouldn't have been doing, and that causes resentments that causes things down the road. But there is a huge double standard on men as far as cheating, and from what I found out, especially women my age that are attractive,
I can
because
agree
I
with
try
that.
to date attractive women, they've been fucked over a few times, right?
Oh yeah.
And so they're so fucking jaded and so good at the art of warfare. They've always got a bullpen.
Right.
They're always got guy friends and that shit. And it's so for men, it's tough, especially if you're attracted to attractive women, because they have so many options.
Yeah.
They've got so many ways out. And if you're a guy, instantly, especially if you're a cool dude, instantly they think you're a player. They think that
Absolutely.
you're just and they keep their Rolodex and their bullpen stacked. Every woman I know.
And see that's one thing. I mean, that obviously guys have always done too. You just have to get to a point whether or not people are really whether or not they really want to have that. And I've been around tons of them that they just don't. Their idea is to make sure they're always in one and have something on the side burner. And I know guys that do the same thing. And I don't condone it. And
Why
I
do you think that is?
Codependency.
Oh, codependency. Yeah, that being selfish, insecure. I mean, I know a lot of guys that do it because they don't want to be home alone, and yet at the same time they're selfish enough to lie to a girl and then bang chicks on the side.
Here's another thing that's
Because it's about that. Like for a guy, it's a selfish and power thing, and it's usually because like, oh, I love this woman, like blah blah blah, but like I'm attracted, because they're married, they don't want to leave that, so it's like they want to have their cake and eat it too. That's what it comes down to.
And then there's a lot that goes with the ego part of it. Like, so when if you're married or something and that falls apart, right? As a dude, you look at it from different angles, but one of them is for me, it's like I didn't know if I was really in love with someone or if I was in love with the idea of the marriage and the codependency of having them around.
And that, I think, is what a lot of women.
And so I was confused.
Too.
It's as I've gotten older, I'm better at looking at objectively now and saying before, but that's a dangerous game to play, and I think
Yeah.
it's because especially if you get codependent on situations or someone, like because I've been with a girl before, and I look back and I'm like, man, that girl's a bitch. What the fuck was I thinking? You know.
You know exactly
But
what you were
just-
thinking.
You get the pussy.
You know exactly what you're
They
thinking.
suck
Yeah.
you in with that, and then it's just boom,
Absolutely.
boom, boom. They change.
They fucking steal your soul.
Yep.
They do.
But
I'm kidding.
But it takes
Trust me,
them-
They break you.
I'm way more pro women when it comes to fucking dating.
takes-
Guys are so fucking stupid.
it takes a minute to get out of the fog, right? And then look at it objectively and go, oh God, I don't even like them.
Yeah.
They're shitty people.
Yep.
But you get
blinded by the
dependent.
pussy.
You get and then you get dependent on the environment.
Yeah.
You know, humans are creatures of habit or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And that becomes your habit, especially when you're married and live in
comfortable.
the same house.
So do you think sex is almost like it shields from maybe seeing the ugly sides of a chick? Like it's because you said it. You said the first thing a guy thinks is, you know, let's have a good time, take you home, you know, screw her, and that's
Right,
that.
right.
So do you think maybe that causes you to be a little bit jaded to what a girl's really like? Like, ooh, she's good in bed. She's got to be a great girl. You know what I mean?
I
You
don't.
got to realize a lot of guys don't even get that far. They're like, they don't care how good in bed she is. They're just like, oh my god, she'll fuck me all the time. I'll do anything. Like
Right.
some guys get in a
And
relationship
she
with
could be a total asshole. Do you
Yeah.
think that
100%.
jades you at all?
the sex absolutely, especially if you're a guy that doesn't have options. If you're a guy that doesn't have options, you finally have a chick who's willing to date you and give you consistent pussy. A lot of guys that are extremely insecure will do fucking anything to not fuck that up. And staying at has nothing to do with love. It's because for the first time they finally get consistent, because it's about sex for guys. Then it's at first it's about sex. It's not like, oh my god, I fell in love and then we get to have sex. Okay. It's about sex at first, and then when you spend enough time, and there's things about where guys can fall in love, and it does happen. Like, trust me, I've fallen in love twice. Like, I get it. I'm not anti-love by any means. The problem is, like I was too when I was younger, the things that made me good in a relationship are not what I was attracted to. Okay, the things I was attracted to in women were not things that were good as far as what I wanted to put into a relationship, because, like I said, I was around infidelity when I was younger. So it wasn't about being honest and faithful. To me, it was about, oh my god. Dude, I was so bad. Like, my first girlfriend, and she knows this shit. When I was in high school, dude, I fucked all of her best friends. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, and it wasn't like I was just being. It was just easy. So I did. And what's crazy when I tell people that now, because like, how could you wouldn't do that? Because I'm not that kind of person anymore. Like, I would never do that now. When I was 17,
Why? How
and
come?
these young hot, because I grew up. Like, when you're 17 and you have all these fucking hot young women, dude, in high school I was a slut, especially when I was a senior. Like, it was bad. And like, I've warned my daughter, I'm like, you think it's like, I'm telling you right now, senior guys prey on younger girls that are stupid, naive. Like, it's
So
just
was
a
it
fucking
because you
fact.
got older that you stopped sleeping around, or was it because of anything else? So like, what if it was still easy today?
It is.
It's still you could
the
be,
So
fuck?
how come you don't?
like I
Because
said, there's no desire
That's
to chase
the point.
it
I don't
anymore.
have that desire to
There's
go out
too
and-
much
Why?
work.
What
There's
changed?
too much work. Why?
No. When you get older, like, it's not like I'm 40. I don't wake up 24/7 with a boner anymore trying to have sex like you do when you're 19. So
That's
it's
another
different.
way- yeah.
It's a fact. I don't wake up thinking, oh my god. Like, when I was in my 20s,
Dude, sometimes
all
a good
I cared about-
conversation is good is as good as not better than a great fuck. Sometimes, if you can find like a girl
Put
who
that
like,
on a t-shirt.
Do
'cause
that again.
if you can find like a girl who can
sounds like
talk
a
to you,
fucking
sometimes
Hallmark
it's like, you
commercial.
know what? I could technically not spend a bunch of money and take this girl out and think I'm gonna get laid, or maybe she's like at least a good conversation. Because let's be real, at the end of the night, you hope to get laid, but during the dinner, you hope you're not bored.
No, but I think she was trying to ask, like, you were trying to figure out, like, what is it about that I'm feeling for it. So here's what I was trying to answer your question. When I was younger, and you're like, what is that desire? What draws you to the sex? What is it about the sex? Or because is it just the sex? And for me, it was. Like, I'm telling you right now, I was absolutely fucking in love, and I can go have sex with tons of women with no questions asked, and go back to my girlfriend later that night and go home.
But how come she's not like all the other ones you just screwed? I don't.
Because I actually fell in love with her.
How?
Because that was the first girl that I ever constantly had sex with that I actually liked, and I was like, she was fun. I fell in love with her.
So what if you just constantly had sex with like 5 girls?
I have.
Could you be in love with all 5?
No, absolutely not. You can't be in love with more than one. Absolutely not. That's what I'm saying. The rest, and I've like,
Por qué?
I'm just saying, you can be in love with 5 girls.
Not 5 guys. This dude probably could.
Hold on.
I love Five Guys.
No, no, you can't.
I love Five Guys
but I'm
cheeseburgers.
more of like an In-N-Out guy, bro.
No, to answer your question, no,
I
you
could
can't.
probably be in love with 5 different women. Doesn't mean I have to be married to all 5.
Dude, I
you
would
could
rather-
be in love with.
No, you
Dude,
can't.
I've been in love with at least 3 women in my life. How
What
could I
in
not
the
be in love with all 3 of them at the same time?
Does
that make sense?
No, absolutely.
How does that not
You
make
sound
sense?
like an idiot. Stop it, Jesus.
No, but
you cannot
like-
be in
okay,
love with 3 people.
okay.
Fuck no.
Whoa, whoa,
No,
whoa.
you totally could.
No, wait.
Oh, Jesus.
You're throwing me off here because what he's saying is pretty much the same thing you're saying.
I
Like,
could
No.
totally be in love with
Oh,
three
yeah.
chicks at the same time. How could I not? If I met three women who made me better in like completely different capacities, and I loved those people, like for
no,
what they
no.
do, I guess maybe it's an
Have you not been
interpretation
in
of
love then? Yeah, that's different. You're talking about
I mean,
love like
I've
a
been
friend.
married. I've told only very few women I love you, and I have stuttered a couple of fucking times. So
You haven't been in love.
But
I can
wait,
tell
whoa,
by your
whoa,
face you
but
haven't been
what's
in love.
different? What's
It's
different
different.
from his
It's-
love from your love from
yeah, but
Conrad's
how do
love?
you
You
know
know
that
the
I haven't
fucking
been in love?
difference.
I still care for those women. I
I
still
care for tons of women.
I still look.
You're sitting here trying to say how I've been in love with three women at the same fucking
hope,
time. Like,
How could you? But
You know,
why
Okay,
can't
pause,
you?
pause,
there's no
pause.
fucking way.
Go.
For-
You're thinking.
You're crazy.
No,
So
that's fucking
first-
nature.
So let me
a
go-
dude cannot be in love with
Pause,
three women at one
pause,
time.
pause.
Dude, it's yes.
Let
they
me
can.
just set the record.
How many lions
Okay,
have
hold on,
one
hold on.
lioness?
Let's let Conrad get on this.
I guess for some, right? Not for me. Maybe you could be in love with multiple women at the same time. My only challenge to that is you're gonna blow your fucking head off because they're gonna drive you insane. If you were in love with three women,
I'm not saying
I
I've
would
been
have
in
to
love
see
with them.
some
I'm
type
just
of,
saying
like-
I wouldn't negate that. That's ridiculous. I think that there are people who truly believe that they are in love, and they're in plural. Like,
I believe that.
like polygamy.
Believe.
Like,
Yeah,
I
it's in
think
their
that they
head.
believe. I'm not saying that I'm an adopter of it. Dude. I don't
No,
even have enough
that's-
time to love myself. Do you think I can
That's-
love somebody else right now?
That's sad. Tim,
That's really
No,
sad.
let's talk.
Tim,
Yes, you
we
do.
need to change this podcast
Tim loves
right
himself.
here.
We
Well,
all
I'm
love
saying,
Tim.
like,
You
I
got
don't even
plenty
have
of love.
enough time to invest in the things that I want to do because I'm always working.
Right,
is what I'm
but
saying. So
hold
I don't
on.
have enough time to like
You're
split
kind
that
of
with
making
another
my
person.
point for me. If you do, without even having that much time to actually fall, I'm talking like emotion.
I'm not saying
You were
I
talking
could.
about-
I'm saying why would you not say somebody could or could not fall in love with three different women at the same time? There are people out there who truly believe that they are in love with 5, 6, 7, 20
You're
different
probably
women.
right. You're probably
That's what I'm
right.
saying. Like
Yeah.
I would
There
not
are some
negate it.
stupid fucking people out there.
I'm
that
not
think
an
you can be
adopter of that
emotionally
belief, and I'm
connected
not-
to more than one person
Yeah.
to be in love. There's
And-
no fucking way. There are people who believe it though. I would agree.
There are people,
Yes,
yeah. So
absolutely.
I would say yes. There are people you
There's
can
a-
fall in love with 3+ women at the same time.
There are
Do you
people who
want
think
to? Fuck
OJ
no.
was fucking innocent too. So I
No,
get it.
that's crazy.
Okay,
Dog.
10 seconds.
Crazy falling in love with one woman, dude.
10 seconds. Define what love is. Go.
But I produce, so I shouldn't have to answer that. I think love is in the
pleads
eye of
the
the
fifth.
beholder.
And time's out. 10 seconds. Go.
if you hang up a picture of her in the shop and the boys go, "That's the boner of the month." No.
10 seconds. Go.
Something that I could wake up next to every day and not like have to kick him out of bed.
Yeah.
I
Or ask why they're still there.
on a serious.
No, I'm just saying like somebody that I really want to spend every fucking day with. That's when I know it's love,
Yeah.
and I've had that twice. Like I'm just saying, I knew when I finally fucking knew. Until then, dude, if you ever question it, it ain't fucking love. It's hot, it's sex, it's passion, it's fucking lust, it's tons of shit.
You know,
it ain't love.
I don't know. You know
Because
when you know.
That's
Like
what I'm
you,
saying.
that's
I
literally
knew what I
somebody you
loved,
can
and I was
say,
still an
"I
asshole."
love you and I care about you and I want to be a part of your life." And I think that's important that we spend a lot of time together,
but not be in love with them.
but not have to be like ultra committed at the same
Trust
time.
me,
Like they support
I'm
your
way
goals
more
and
interested
vice
in
versa.
that kind of love than actually falling in love. Because to me, to get back to
Because
your
it's
point
easy
about
to
what,
get out of.
No, absolutely. So to me, dude, me being in love to me felt like a fucking trap. It's the biggest fucking trap of my life to where I felt like I lost control. And somebody else, I was to the point where I never wanted to be in a situation where somebody else had the control of my vulnerability.
I'll give you a real answer since someone that believes in it but has failed at it multiple times. I think to me now, love has got to be the vision of your dreams along with your partner's dreams, and you guys have to be able to be survivable in super hard times and hard times in life financially, when people come in your lives, loss, death, those type of things I think culminate with your best friend. If you guys have the same vision of your life and that all comes together and you can make it through times like that, that's what love would be.
Okay, let me
and
ask you
still
this.
be friends.
Let me ask you, and I want you, well, I already know your answer. You're a girl, I already know your answer. If you could really go back in it right now, knowing how much shit you went through and being cheated on, how much that fucking hurt when you were in love, okay? And you could just say, you know what? I may just be content with having a girl I want to date, kind of chill on the side, not have to get emotionally where I'm such a crutch with that woman and get so to the point where that girl could ruin my fucking life.
Yeah.
Having, like, that's it. I don't like having somebody to where like I'm that happy and I doubt myself and I'm that hard on myself
Right.
because of somebody else. I love having that control over me. That was my problem. It's
Yeah.
not that I'm scared of it. I didn't fucking like it. I did not like the fact of having somebody who could be that shitty of a human being being like, do that shit to you.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I've done it too. Like I've cheated too. And I've been my first girlfriend, okay, my daughter's mom. And this was in high school, dude.
Are you answering?
What?
You had a question for me.
I did?
Yeah, and you just kept going. Are you answering your own question?
Probably.
Okay, that's fine.
I think I was just trying to get to the root of the whole thing. But
Okay.
yeah, okay.
No, you're good.
My bad. Did I steal the...
No, I said you could finish. I didn't want you to drop it because I forgot what I was going to say.
No, I was just trying to explain, like, with my daughter's mom, like, I'm not here saying that what I'm saying is right. I'm telling you the truth. I was a total fucking asshole and cheated when I was younger. And I did it. Not that I wasn't a bad person. I thought it wasn't that big of a deal. Because I was young, and it was, I was 17, 18, 19, you know? So to me, it wasn't Bill. And I could go home and know that I was still in love with her and cheat on her all the time. And it was immaturity. Okay, I'm not saying it's right. But it happens. I'm telling you right now. And a lot of guys do it and they won't change. So to me now, like, it's just, as far as with the love factor, it's not that I'm scared of it. To me, it's, and I'm not, people say, you got a wallop. No, I don't. I just haven't met somebody that really blew my fucking socks off. And I was like, that's my motherfucker. Like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to be around. That's my person. I haven't had that.
Yeah, and real love's got to survive. So none of mine has.
Yeah.
Right. And so whether I was invested where I thought I was in love or not, like real love would survive. So
Now, do you feel like at this point, do you feel like you're going to miss out on life if you don't get married?
no.
Okay.
I mean, I think there's a time you go through, especially, I wanted a family and kids and all that, and the storybook, whatever, when I got older.
But looking back at it now, do you still want that shit?
I don't know. I mean, I would love to have that type of relationship, yeah, but
Really?
am I looking for it now? No.
Yeah. Okay.
But if it came up, well, that was just, having a family and kids and stuff like that, I'm attracted to, and having a wife. Yeah, but that being said, I don't know. It's one of those things.
That's the question.
It's tough.
I ask myself all the time, would I really want that? Knowing how much effort and how much shit you got to realize. This is going to sound really bad. Most dudes don't really benefit from a relationship. It's more typically about women.
Yeah. That's true.
And a lot of women, when they know that, and it's the way women can use it and manipulate guys into doing what they want.
But I think that is the difference between a successful and an unsuccessful relationship.
Absolutely.
It's 50-50.
Absolutely. So women
Or no,
who have
I take that back. It's not 50-50. It's
It should be.
100% and it's 100%.
Yes.
You can't go in with the expectation that it's going to be, I'm giving half and the other person's going to give half.
And
It's got to be, I'm giving everything to this person and I'm hoping and praying to God that it's going to come back to me.
Yeah.
And if it does, then, I think
I
that's
haven't
why
dated
it's
that kind of
successful.
woman.
Yeah,
I've always dated women that have always been, and I was that way
But
too.
have
I always
you been
had a
that
foot.
guy?
No, that's what I'm saying. I agree.
Right.
I wasn't either. I was attracted. I wasn't attracted to the girls that way. I was that person. So I always had one foot in, one foot out.
See, and I had one that was that, and I fucked that up.
Yeah.
Being young and stupid.
Yeah.
But that goes back with age, I think, too. And then she changed. So I jaded her. So now that woman in her 30s that's fucking running over some
don't
dude.
get me wrong. Dude, there's so many jaded women out there because of guys like us. I get it.
But
like, tons of us.
Yeah, and so
You're like, no, me, I'm perfect.
No, but I mean, a lot of it, like, I'm telling you right now, a lot of people just don't want to face the fact of what most guys want out of a relationship. Like, most guys get trapped when they fall in love and they get into something and thinking, oh, fuck.
I mean, I think that's because a lot of guys don't understand what a girl needs versus what she wants. You know
Or
what
maybe
I
I
mean?
don't
There's a
think a
difference.
You
lot
don't
of
even know what the
girls
fuck
know
you
what
want.
a guy needs.
I mean,
though.
I
Women-
think it's a two-sided thing
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay, let me ask you right now.
But I
What-
think it's communication.
right now,
But
You
it's
know what I
also
mean?
a personal thing. I think everybody has different experiences, and they take
Yeah.
away from those experiences things that they can work on, or they should. The things that they've learned from that relationship. I've noticed that every relationship I've had post-divorce has been shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, and that's because I start to filter out things that I don't like.
Yeah.
I start to filter out things that I don't appreciate, or things that I recognize that was something that I didn't like previously. And in the way that I've done this is try to communicate that in a way where it's like, hey, like, listen, like, I don't appreciate what you're doing, or I don't like having to, like, do everything, or whatever it might be. I'm not saying that's the case, but
Right.
I try to communicate that, and I take away from that the way that, they may have responded, I responded in certain situations, and then in the next relationship I try to improve on it. And if I don't work it out, there's somebody else out there who will take my shit and I'll take their shit, and it'll balance out.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
know,
I
like,
gotta
but
put
you have to do
one-
that.
All right, this is the one thing I gotta like.
But it all gets
I
shorter.
can't, these are such
Go out
easy
shorter.
fucking. These are such easy
You ready
questions.
for
I thought
this?
you had some good ones.
Very
Seriously.
elementary.
You give me
You're
30,
fucking
30
layups, dude.
seconds.
Elementary.
Okay, so
Ace, grill us. Come on.
Seriously.
God,
Ace.
okay,
It's time to get serious.
so
It's Memorial Day. Grill us.
let me think. Okay, so frack, I forgot what I was gonna say. It was good too.
You're on fire today.
Damn it.
Seriously.
Ask me something about.
Yeah, give me a topic. That'll make it easier.
Pick a good topic.
So what's how many girls?
Hold
you
on,
know?
you kind of fucking drilled us about the things that we look for. Like, let me ask you something, okay? No, because this is what we were talking about earlier
I was
about
just about
dating
to.
with your guys. Okay, so you're a fucking millennial. You're
How many
okay.
dudes have you slept with?
No, I'm not even gonna ask you that
Dude,
because
we're
it's
not gonna
different for
ask you
girls.
that.
No.
It's way different.
I wouldn't
We're
even
fucking
disrespect
with
a
you.
woman by doing it. Honest to God,
Right.
we don't give a shit
Yeah.
because it's different. We're
Totally
trust me,
different.
it's not as bad as ours. So what difference does it make? So like, you ask us about things we look for love and sex and what it is that drives us. Okay, now you're gonna be freshly back into this fucking cesspool of dating. Okay, we're welcome. And now, when you get to a point where you're ready to start looking, what's going to catch your eye? What are the things that you look for in guys? What are the things that catch your, like, that get your attention?
Right. Physically or personality wise? Because I see
Anything.
both.
We're going to set up a scenario, okay? All of a
right,
sudden,
hit me.
8 months from now, no, same thing. 8 months from now, you're walking through, and you're past your old shit. You're working out, and you're doing me, living
Yeah.
my best life.
Yeah.
And you're walking the mall 8 months from now, and you're looking fucking cute, and you look up and you see a fucking attractive dude.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing that caught your eye?
Is he looking at me or is he looking away?
He's looking away. He's got sunglasses on. How's that?
Ooh.
Then you don't know.
Well, first of all, I can't see his face.
So you can't
I'm
look.
gonna
Yeah,
just
because you
walk
can't
by.
look, huh?
So the
You're
first
such
thing
a
you need to
pussy.
do is look down at his shoes, and if they're Air Jordans,
Oh my god.
you get
Why did I
played.
know that's what you were gonna say?
No, okay. So get back to like what is it that you really look for? Like what is it? So is it his shoes? Is it his height? It is.
So I'll be honest, I look for
But let's go back since that kind of ruined it with the sunglasses. Let's say he's looking. He's on his phone. He's looking sideways, so he can't see you. You're coming upon him, so you can see everything. What's the first thing you notice?
So I mean,
Physically.
obviously, physically, I'm gonna look at like body type. You know,
Okay.
if he.
Do you have a certain
and
type?
I've dated. I will definitely say this, and I say this proudly. I've dated guys that are lighter than me. I've dated guys that I can lift more than. I've dated guys that at one time were shorter than me, but then grew to be taller than me. Like, and I've also.
So do you have a type?
Yeah.
What's your type?
Or no, I don't. Because I've also dated meatheads that
Okay.
are just like absolutely thick and.
Okay.
Personality wise, I definitely have a type.
Okay.
My type is like soft hearted. Like I really like soft hearted but confident guys.
I get you.
Which
Okay.
is stupid hard to
I was
find.
gonna say good luck with that.
Yeah. I've dated 4 guys in my lifetime and it's
Okay.
I just in each one I think my shortest relationship was like 6 months, which was like holy crap. The rest
so much better than me.
the rest have been years. Like the one I just got
That's
out of
good.
was
That's
almost
good.
2 years. Yeah, and it's like
But you seem like the kind of relationship type of girl. Like, not all women are like that.
Yeah, and I think it depends on how you grow up. It depends on where
Right.
you come from. Like my idea of love, like even just after this quick conversation, I can tell it's completely different. Like, and I think I speak for a lot of girls though, because we want something that's hard to find, and it's
So what is-
sometimes we'll settle.
Right now, okay. So right now, what is it that you would be looking for? And we were talking about 8 months from now. So if you saw the guy and he was, let's say he was working, he was at the gym, or you knew he worked out, so he was
Yeah.
physically appealing to you. What is it what would he have to do?
Mm-hmm.
Is it something to where like are girls just completely turned off when a guy comes up and approaches you?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Working at a
I
gym,
think-
I think it's attractive if a
I
guy
think-
can approach me.
Yeah, and I think there's a weird variable there too.
Yeah, in
because
a way.
I'm a romantic. Some chicks don't like that, or
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
claim.
they think it's fucking creepy.
There's a way.
yeah.
So
Well,
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
What's the
Well,
fucking
What's
way?
the way?
Yeah.
Okay, boys, if
I'm
you're
not
listening
romantic
to
in it.
this.
That's the whole fucking point. Yeah, we don't fucking know. We suck at this shit.
Hashtag Axiom Fitness.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're all gonna fucking be there
Take
tomorrow.
notes. Okay, so there's a difference between a creepy approach and a confident approach.
Yes. there
Okay,
is.
let's go with the creepy
The
approach.
creepy approach is
It's probably our comfort zone.
kind of comes like slooping up almost, where it's just like this. He eases his way, like a shy, like I don't really want to talk to you, but I really think you're hot kind of approach.
Wants to be in your presence.
Yes, and
Okay.
he'll look you like slowly up and down, and it's just like, dude, eyes are right
Okay,
here.
but what if the guy was super fucking hot and doing that?
I don't give a fuck. You
Okay,
need to either
okay.
have confidence and walk up and be like,
Right.
yo, what's up? And start a conversation. Be interesting. Don't be boring.
Smack you with a foam roller.
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
Duh.
Yeah.
Throw something. Yeah.
That's my move. Yeah.
That's your go-to.
It is. Yeah.
Talk about your
Remember I smacked you with it.
What's up, bitch?
talk about your mom's meatloaf.
Yeah. It's a good icebreaker.
Yeah, like walk up, be interesting. Don't bore her to death. Good Lord, have
Okay.
mercy.
So now let's do it a different way. So let's say you're a gym girl.
I work
clearly.
at a gym,
You work
yeah.
at a gym. Is it pretty rare? I mean, is it pretty common where guys reach out to you on social media before anything in public? Like
Yeah,
say a guy.
50-50.
I went-
So say
yeah.
a guy sees you at there's a guy you happen to notice at the gym. You guys are at the same gym as common.
sure, yeah.
Pops up on your friends, and all of a sudden the guy, what's a good message to send? What's a bad message? And is it bad to even reach out like that? Like that's what I was trying to get at.
I personally don't like it.
That's what I kind
You
of
like
figured.
lose
Yeah.
points in my brain. It's nothing personal. It's just I'd rather you call me than text me.
Really?
I'm an awful responder.
Oh my God, that's
I know.
so
See, and then we're
I'm
from-
weird.
We're
I'm
from
weird.
that. We're from that
Yeah.
generation.
I'm the weird one.
You're the
That's-
first
I'm
fucking girl I've seen in 20 years who likes that
Yeah,
shit.
I suck at responding. All of you should know that.
No, I do.
don't-
That's what I'm saying.
I don't respond.
we shot that special and went down to Amsterdam, and I was like thinking to myself, because I went and talked to those girls, they weren't even that attractive, and I was like, I'm cute as fuck. Come on, guys. but what I realized is these chicks were like 20, and they're like, this guy's talking to us and not messaging us 1st.
They don't know
were-
how to fucking.
they were
That's what
creeped
I was
out.
getting at.
It's
It's
the
like, dude,
conversation, That's
I can have
part of it.
It seems, but how do you have an online conversation where girls don't think you're creepy?
You don't. You.
I try not to, but apparently that's the only way to fucking date
It's-
nowadays.
No,
It's
dude.
weird,
Well, hold
'cause-
on.
Oh my
There's
God,
a
it's so
difference
different.
because I went through all her stuff, and she allowed me.
It's true. I give permission.
Yeah, and there's some dudes that have the way. Like, so first off, there's the
I would love to see some of the guys' DMs. This I would just
Correct me if
like,
I'm
read
wrong,
some, but
Ace.
don't say their names. I'm just
Ace.
curious.
Okay.
Total curiosity.
what is there? There's 3 types of DMs, right? There's the ease in, the hey, how are you? I like your profile.
Hey, what's up?
There's the medium.
Like your feed.
Is that like some? Is that
That's a thing.
Is that normal?
It's just like, oh,
So
thanks,
it's not
dude.
creepy.
I'll call you a dude. I'll be like, oh, thanks, bro.
Yeah,
Thanks,
so
bro.
you've got that intro,
Okay.
and then you've got 2, which is, hey, how you doing? You're super hot, by the way. Nice
Hey,
butt.
I thought I would just shoot my shot.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah.
As soon as they start that, it's over.
Oh yeah.
Girl never wants to hear
100%.
that.
I won't respond. I'll be
Right.
like,
You're cheesy.
red.
You're
Or
cheesy.
there's eat your ass out like groceries right out of the gate.
hey, girl, you free this weekend?
Is that your
Want
preference?
to fuck? Hell no.
Here's what
Okay.
I think, too.
They get blocked.
Okay.
There's
Ace,
the red.
you wanna know
There's
my
the blocked. There's the. I'll respond.
You want to know my
Okay.
psychology on that?
What's the ones that get you? Like, what's the intrigue? Like, oh, that's fucking cool. Like, is it something funny? Is
It's
it
when
spunky?
I'm working and someone walks up and says, hey, like, can I have a shake? And it's like, yeah, totally. da-da-da.
Okay,
And then,
gotcha.
it's got to be a mutual, like, girls, I'm speaking to girls too. Like, don't.
This seems like
don't
it's so
be
fucking fake,
don't
dude.
be
Because I
a
see women,
bitch.
they're not like this because most women are.
I've
Right.
never had
She's
a
real sociable.
bartender be interested because I bought a drink off her though.
Well, okay, not buying
she
a drink.
just- she
but
just
like,
means conversation, I
It's
think.
gotta be,
Oh,
yeah,
I
it's
see
gotta
what
be
you're
like a
saying.
mutual conversation where it's just like
It's a natural
But
spark.
see, I
of-
told you,
Yeah,
I think I
exactly.
told you
It has
before,
to
like
be
you
natural.
have that, like you do have, like you're charismatic.
Yeah,
Not all
yeah.
girls have that.
I'll approach anybody any
Right.
day of the week,
And
and,
that's-
a lot of girls
that's
aren't
what I'm
like
saying.
that.
That's different. Like, I
but
don't-
that's
I don't
why
see
that's
that
why
shit.
some guys like that's why they always have like not always, but have to make a move, which comes across as creepy because the girl isn't like either in the mindset or she just the way you approach her is weird. Like if you first of all approach her with confidence, that's the biggest thing.
But
Girls
not
like-
too much. I learned this the
Yeah,
hard
don't
way.
be
You
a
don't want to.
dick.
You don't want to roll up and be like, "Girl, I want a Buddy O'Bread."
Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah, because that's a dick move. It's like, dude, okay, girls want to feel like they're more than just sex. Even if that's what they are to you, they want to feel like that's not. Because they want to feel special. So,
Jigs wheels just went.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Jake's
out.
just like, oh, shit.
I get it. I
That's
get
why
it.
I've been failing.
No, I get it, but I mean, it sounds like something you put on a fucking Hallmark card. Like, it
That's
sounds
true.
good. It's
Well,
just not reality.
But where did they get it? Where did they get the Hallmark card? It's because deep down that's true.
Well,
Girls want to feel special, whether or not a guy wants, like, it's
Well, and-
true.
Absolutely.
That's how you do it.
So I was getting, that's what I was getting at earlier, where that's what girls want. That more than anything, that's what girls are looking for,
They
right?
want to feel respected. They want to feel like you're not going to cheat on them. They want to feel like you have enough, like you love them so much that you're willing to not fuck other people because you have the self-control.
Right.
The one thing that you think about is
Right.
the one thing you're willing to put aside for this one girl.
So let me ask you this. So if you come to a point where you're willing to accept the fact that guys can completely be in love with you, okay? Like you found your guy and you guys are together 7-8 years, okay? I mean, best friend, everything. And all of a sudden, he goes out one night
And he cheats on me.
and he sees a hot ass chick, and he just cannot resist. She throws himself, and they have sex. Your whole life just got turned upside down, and now your shit changes all because of something that, when it comes down to it, you really don't give a fuck.
To Ace,
Because he's fucked other women before you. The difference is
To me,
it's going to change.
I'm different.
That'd be over.
I'm a weird one.
That-
I would literally be heartbroken, and I probably, if I was married to him,
Yeah.
I don't know if I could ever get married again.
So here's what I'm getting at. And then, so let's say it's a bit of a hypothetical, but I'm trying to get, there's a point to it. So let's say that happens, okay? So you get married at, let's say young. Let's say you get married at
Which
20.
I wanted to. I wanted to get married at 18. Didn't happen.
Okay.
Not too concerned.
That's good.
yeah,
Let's say, but
Trust me.
let's say you meet that guy and you guys are together 5 years, okay? And
Okay.
like it's good and he's successful, like, and he's honest, like had good morals and like nothing wrong, like no baggage, like you guys are best friends, and he's a few years older than you, so that way his maturity levels is on the same with yours. So everything's kind of lining up, right? Like you guys have a lot of the same dreams and hopes, and like as far as like if you have a religious background, everything's
Yeah,
lining up,
everything.
and you finally found that one, dude. And it's not because he's a fucking professional football player. It's because he has tons of money, or you're attracted to him because of his status. Like this is the person you found that you really want to be around,
I'm
and you're willing to look past
love, yeah.
exactly, and you're willing to look past all that shit. Okay, all of a sudden he goes. I'm telling you right now. All of a sudden he goes out, and at some point, let's say he gets a promotion at work, and all of a sudden he's feeling good and confident about himself, and he goes out and his friends buying some drinks, and he goes out and he fucks some girl. And it has nothing to do with love. He wasn't going to leave you. Nothing's going to change. But he fucked up and made a huge mistake. Okay, never done it before. And now he's got to go home and he's got to somehow tell you this. And your whole life changed. And because of what you just told me, you said, I don't think I could do it. Okay, let's put that into a scenario where you found everything and let's
lost
jump
everything
No,
that
but
quick.
jump forward 5 years. Jump forward 5 years from there, and then ask yourself, okay, could I have that back and just give the guy a freebie? I bet you almost every fucking girl that's ever done it would say yes. Because when it comes down to it, women, it's different. It's about love, and it's about as long as he's there and he's giving you love. To guys, it's about sex. So if guys are trying to get sex and girls are trying to, you guys do that. That's the difference, and you have to accept
Think
that.
about this is what I was going to say earlier. Think about how bizarre marriage really is. Okay, just think about this. I was thinking about this the other day. You have two people from completely different backgrounds, or even similar backgrounds, two different family
Right.
lives, aspects, everything, beliefs, morals,
Yep.
religions, like two different things, and you're trying to bring a tiny little baby piece of that, you and your buddy, and you're trying to mush those worlds together.
Before you even know what the fuck you want with your life.
While you're young. And then you want to bring another factor and have a kid into that. So now you're making like, you know what I mean? It's just like this weird, it's a bizarre thing. Marriage is bizarre and it's freaking hard.
Here's the
And
thing.
I'm 19 and I know that and I can say that. And I've never even experienced it. It's like,
it's a disaster. But
It's a disaster
it's
when you're young.
wild.
Here's the thing.
It's just, dude. If you think it
crazy.
was bad, like we can talk to our parents and stuff about how they've been. Oh, we together 50 years and 4 years. I'm gonna be honest with you, like I think as people go forward, they're gonna realize it's not a bad thing to date somebody for 5 years or a decade and decide you want to change your mind, try something different. Doesn't make you a bad person.
No, yeah.
I think it's religious pressure, and people think that, oh my God, if we stay together for 40 years, it's gonna be fantastic. Why? Like if you guys don't like each other after 10 years, why struggle? Why not go find something else? You shouldn't have to feel bad about yourself because you change your mind. And I think that, like, you're in it for the love. Guys are in it for the sex. If guys fall in love with you and they're going to be good to you, like, it's very rare that they don't cheat. I'm just telling you. I don't know a lot of guys that have never once in their life not cheated. Like, I'm just saying.
I think the ones that are out there, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of
There's
dudes,
a lot of them.
There's a lot of dudes that play the church card and do it.
I'm talking about guys that have options.
Yeah.
I'm saying, keep in mind, there's
Those
always
guys
fucking
have
nerds that
options.
can't get laid.
So
There's,
I'll be
like,
honest.
Oh my God, I would never cheat.
I'll
No
be
shit. Ain't
honest.
nobody trying to fuck you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's different.
I'll be honest. I've always dated guys who I feel I am like just a half inch
hotter.
hotter, a little
Yeah.
more attractive. Like you won.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you're
You hit the jackpot.
I'm the trophy. You won this.
Right.
So
Yeah.
don't fuck it up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't know why. Probably just because
It's a self-protection
It's
thing.
a self-protection
Yeah.
thing because that's why long
It's also
term-
an option you have. Not every woman has that option.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And I think that's just part of you have to keep your. That's why I'm so like, if a guy cheats, bye. Like, because
But what
I want
I'm
to
going to tell you, I'm going to
to
tell you right now, if you keep that mentality when you're young, it's going to cause you a lot of issues. And I'm
Oh,
not
don't
saying
doubt
allow
it.
cheating.
Don't doubt
What
it.
I'm saying is, guys are gonna fuck up. You're gonna see a lot of guys do a
I'm
lot of
gonna
stupid.
fuck up.
Right.
Oh yeah, I have before, of course. Yeah.
So if you happen to meet those guys, and that's what I was trying to get at earlier about having a relationship, and think about having all that good shit where like you found the guy you love and he fucked up one night, and he's not a shitty person. He just fucked up, and he fell in love with you when you guys were young, and he gives you some excuse, blah blah blah, and you're like, nope, motherfucker, I'm done. And you spend the rest of your life knowing that you'll never find that same love, but it was because of your
Right.
morals that said, I can't fucking do it. And it ain't about sex with women. It's not. It's about love. He loves you. If you can't replace that love, I guarantee you 10 years from now, if you can't replace that love, you'll give that back in a second and say, I don't even care you fuck somebody. Come back and love me. Because love you can't find. Like,
But
so
I don't believe in that. I don't believe that.
but you also don't think that a guy can be in love with you and cheat on you either.
I don't.
Right.
I don't think.
See, and I'm
you're-
on the
yeah.
fence on that one too.
I think if you're
I
telling
think there's
me
a different.
you love me,
I think there's variables where a guy can be in love.
I'm just
and-
telling you, I've been in love with cheated plenty of times. I've done it.
Well, yeah, no, that happens.
That's what I'm saying. Like it, and easily, and
But
it
it's
doesn't.
not-
And I was never a shitty person or a bad person.
But I don't-
Conrad,
I don't
talking
think
to your
it's
mic,
an-
dog. I can't really
I don't think
hear
it's
you.
an inevitability.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's an inevitability. I think there's, you know what I mean?
it's circumstantial for sure.
I think so.
But I personally,
Okay.
I know the guy that I.
That being
would be
said,
with
I know
wouldn't.
how much grease is out there. You
Oh,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
I've seen there's plenty of people that are in love and they just go have sex because they fucked up.
Yeah.
Or do they think they're in love? That's,
Well,
No, I'm telling you right. I realize you're looking at us like, trust me, you're the 19 naive one. You haven't seen it yet. It's out
Right.
there. It's coming.
And there's this-
I'm telling you right now, a guy can absolutely be married to you and spend his rest of his life with you. And if he's in a compromised situation with a woman that's fucking attractive,
yeah, out of town,
and
drunk or something.
like it can happen.
So my
And
question,
it's-
I could never look at him the same and think,
Right.
yeah, he loves me, blah blah blah. I'd be thinking, okay, he says he loves me. When's he gonna cheat again?
well, and here's the
And I'm not saying you're not right.
and it
Right.
depends on his
I'm just
conscience
saying.
too.
Yeah.
Like because
It's like, what's the most important thing? What I was trying to get at was, what was the most important thing you really want in a relationship? Is it because you don't want him to ever touch another pussy? Or is it because he loves you and he wants to... He might fuck up a time or two in the next 60 years, but when it comes down to it, he wants to spend his life with you. Do you see kind of what I'm getting at? Like, guys are going to go through a time where they're going to try and fuck some other women. It's just going to happen. If they fall in love at 18 and they get in a relationship, they may be a coworker
Right.
later on. At some point, another woman is... For most guys... is going to come up with another woman is going to try and fuck them.
So then, I would think, why was I not good enough?
It's not about being good enough.
But
that's what I'm
that's where
saying.
girls go.
I know. I agree.
Like, how
because
come?
What did I do? You did not do anything. It's the fact
Right.
of
I gave you all the sex you wanted. I slept with you whenever you wanted to.
Right.
Because that's all you think about.
Right.
So, how come you couldn't have just stuck with me?
because for the most part, like guys, monogamy doesn't work with guys for the most part. It's just when you're young.
and
When you get to a point where you want to be with a woman where it's not about the sex, which is older guys, you're gonna be happier. Like
Right.
younger guys need to go out and fucking screw up and
Right.
chase some tail and figure out what it is they want. So when they do fall in love, they don't fucking turn every woman into a train wreck. Because when it comes down to it, trust me, guys are more fucked up than women. It's not even close. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not like anti against women.
Well, I mean,
bitches be crazy.
yeah, it's circumstantial. I know a lot of crazy girls.
But
I know a
trust
lot
me,
of crazy guys.
Guys are. I wouldn't say guys are as crazy. Guys
They're
are
crazy in different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Guys
it's
are just dumb.
someone that's been.
Guys are just dumb.
Yeah, that's true.
When they're younger, guys are we're just fucking idiots.
For
when
me,
we're
if
young.
I cheated on someone I love to, I don't know if I could live with it consciously without them knowing.
Yes.
Like I'd be too hard on myself. I wouldn't want
Okay,
them.
but
I would want them
I'm
to
that
favor.
way now too. I'm saying 20 years ago when your wife cheated on you, okay, like you know how that feel on the receiving end. So you
Right.
and you never had an experience before that. So you have a different outlook on
I
like
did, but not from marriage. Yeah. So
Yeah.
So it's
so it's different.
and then I processed it on the other side of the planet, like where you can't call them.
Right.
You can't do. It's
Fuck.
cold. It's a fucking
It's
cold way to
very-
find out.
it's
I
Yeah.
can imagine what was going
There's
through your mind.
nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do. It's just a lost feeling. And so another thing with guys that go through that I mentored and stuff before, like it's tough because you want to tell a dude, right, that fucks up, that's wears his heart on his sleeve, don't do that again, stupid.
Right.
But also, I'm the same way. And so, like, I tell him, like, I get it. There's nothing better than that feeling when you're in love, and it's worth the gamble. Totally worth the gamble. But even for myself now, it's like, you got to know when to gamble and when to shut the fuck up and back out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's,
He's like, nah.
but to me
My
is
mic's not on. I said, and when to hold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, as miserable as it is, it's still worth it. If you find it. You know what I mean? To me.
And that's what I was getting at is for me it was like I put myself because I just I was that way too. I fell in with somebody. It was such a drag for so fucking long.
Fucking long, yeah.
It's like I never want to do this again. It's like a fucking plague over you, dude.
And for men, it's an ego thing too, especially when you're attractive women, because they've got 35 options lined up
all day long,
and you know
it's
it.
way easier for
and
women.
you know they're getting pressure tested from
Yes.
every angle. Any woman right now that has an Instagram account that is attractive that says she's not getting pressure tested is a
Right.
fucking liar. And if-
Generationally, I think I actually saw like a little video of this on Instagram. It said one of the biggest differences generationally, the reason divorce is a lot higher is because there's that opportunity of, oh, shit's not going well. I'm gonna
instantly in the palm of your hand.
I'm bored. This is hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know we're still dating, but I'm gonna just.
Oh,
like,
I've seen it. Like
yeah.
I've seen every
But you couldn't do that
being around
years ago.
Right.
That wasn't a thing. That's why. That's why I think. Anyways,
Oh, nowadays-
divorce rates have gone up so high because it's an option.
at the palm of your hand. It's fucking
yeah,
and
it
you're
can
a
be a
woman.
thing.
Yeah. And if you're a woman, if you're a stay-at-home mom and your husband works every fucking day and you're not getting what you want, dude, you know how many times back in the day, like
Absolutely.
I had married women that would hit me up all the time.
Absolutely.
Oh, dude.
Look at Tim's eyes. He knows.
Military
Dude,
guys.
Married, exactly.
Dude, there's so
many they'll reach out. It's such a fucking turn off.
Well,
too, at this point.
the hard thing is when you've got young guys that come in and they've got these little dime piece girlfriends they just married and
Yep.
stuff like that, and you're like, oh, dude, you don't even know the
And-
pressure
and
test.
you-
As
yep.
soon as you're gone for 2 weeks, as soon as you're gone for the weekend, as soon as you're this,
Especially their attention.
guarantee all those
Yep.
guy friends come out of the woodwork. So they get pressure tested like crazy. That's what we call it in the Army. Pressure tested.
It's not guys don't have that.
and they're
Women
like,
do.
what can we do? And the older guys just like, nothing. Fucking hope.
Yep.
Nothing you can do. Tie your loose ends, and if she still does it, then she's a bad person.
And like with women, the same thing. Like you were talking about, like
Bad
all these
person.
questions about guys for a relationship. Like, don't lose. Here's the thing, don't lose that hope. Because I'm telling, like, I sound like a cynic, but I don't sit here and think, oh, relationships suck and it's really fucking bad. I don't think that. I just think that most people don't want to be honest about what's in a relationship and what it really requires.
Yeah, and there are relationships out there that are a fucking drag, and that
Oh my
you
God.
could burn yourself in.
I'll be honest with you. I see very few really good relationships that I admire.
So
True.
what's your? This is like question that I didn't write down. What makes a successful marriage or a successful relationship in your opinion?
Well, that's kind of what I was getting back to.
You're
First,
talking to a bunch of dudes who have unsuccessful
We're all
marriages.
single.
hold on.
So what have you learned?
Here's
what
what I've
doesn't
learned.
work?
First off, you can't start with foundations and cracks in the foundation. And with that being
Oh,
said,
absolutely.
I think in our age, when we were younger in our 20s, some of us went off and got married. We're just different characters, but we used to run around together with the boy band. But like, you see the foundational cracks from going out to the bars,
yeah,
right?
compromising situations.
Compromising
is really what
situation.
it
You
is, yeah.
flirted one night, you do this, you do that. Then it becomes a game of give and take. So, as opposed to all of that, if you can start a relationship where you guys both enjoy something, where you're not putting cracks in the foundation,
Right.
you've got a lot better chance of success. And everyone I've seen that's really failed, it comes down to a lot of times being with the wrong person, getting married too quick.
Yeah.
And then everyone wants to talk about communication, but no one wants to fucking do it. Everyone wants to talk about being open
Yep.
and doing the right thing, but no one wants to humble themselves. So in order for a marriage to work, you have to have two very humble people, I believe. If you've only got one humble person, it's going to fail. 100%.
Really quick. I remember the one time I went to a relationship therapist, and it was the last girlfriend I dated, and it was to the point where we were both in love, but it just nothing would work, and she was just like, "Let's go to this therapist." She asked me to go to therapist. I said, "I will absolutely go to therapist, no problem at all." Okay, because I knew like our issues at this point weren't really what about me and the shit that I was doing. It was more like the things that she was like. It really was on her, and to me, I was like, I'll go because I know a psychologist is going to put this in your face and say, you need to do this. Long story short, we went to her psychologist. Exactly what happened. We left. She completely agreed with what I was saying, and my girlfriend left crying. And when we left, she was still pissed because it wasn't about fixing the relationship. She cared more about being right than
Exactly.
fixing. And that's why I was like, this can't work.
And what he's
She
saying,
doesn't want to make it work. She wants to be right.
and what he's
And
saying,
that's
like,
been the epitome of her relationships.
for
So you
dudes,
both have to be able to admit
for
that you're
dudes,
wrong.
Absolutely.
yeah, and for dudes, especially like
That's
what,
why I wanted to go. I'm like, I want to make this thing fucking work.
Yeah.
I will gladly go in there. I told her, I will do whatever the fuck they say. And they were like, yeah, you should probably light up on him and support him a little bit more. And like she fucking went off on her.
And a problem with that right out of the gate, and I'm going to tell you with women that I've been with personally, if you don't start that counseling session in reality,
Right.
it's all compromised. And what
Yeah.
he was saying early happens a ton, where a woman will not be in love with the dude or be in love with him, fall out of love, however it happens, and then come up with a reason to fight with them.
Manipulate a reason to
Manipulate
get
a
out,
reason-
rather than just saying,
And
hey.
when you get older as a dude, you see right through that bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh, you did
Fuck.
this," and you're insecure. Like, huh? What?
yeah.
The fuck are you talking about? They
And it
start
works when you're young,
they
but
start a fight that way, and then you can't go into counseling. And I'm sure men do the same thing. So that's another thing why I think counseling fails so much, is because one of the people that isn't happy isn't in reality.
right.
And so by the time it gets to counseling, I don't know if it's salvageable anymore.
Really?
It just depends if you have if somebody wants to be right or if somebody wants to make it work.
Like
you
I
need
said-
two people that want to fucking make it work and not
you'd
just
need-
win.
You'd
So
have to have.
instead of having two people that want to be right, you need two people that are willing to admit they're wrong.
Absolutely.
And really be humble on what their faults are and their character
Yeah.
flaws. And
Find the plank in your
And-
own eye before you pull the
yeah,
Yeah.
out the
yeah,
other
yeah.
ones.
Yeah, don't be flexing the God card just yet.
Right.
Wait till counselor gets done, no?
No.
Let's wrap this shit up, fellas.
Yeah, that's fun.
Thanks for joining us. Ace, great to have you in studio.
Thanks, guys.
Enlighten us, the lovely young Ace.
Hey, the next
Follow
time
on-
you get a date where you say, well, I want to bring you back on, and actually, I want you to go through a date, or like, now that you're kind of fresh back into it, when you have your next experience, and it's something sounds fun that maybe you want to interact and talk about, come back and we'll talk about it.
Hey, and all
'Cause
you,
that'd be
So
fun. Yeah.
all you fuckwads in Ace's DM, she's letting me read them, so keep them coming, douche nozzles.
If you guys say anything really good, you're
No
going to end up on the
dick
fucking show.
pics, please.
Bro, I was going through them just like, oh, I could have fun with this.
Oh my
I
God,
could
let's
have fun
break them
with
out
this.
last time. Next time.
You cheesy fucks. We out.